So have you watched...
welcome to Juggz, a good train story for World War II.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
Express, you seen that?
Sorry?
Von Ryan's Express?
No, I've not seen that.
It's a good film. Old war movie about Von. It's about a prison break and they hijack a train to try and get back to the Allied side.
Yeah.
Could we do this whole podcast about trains and you just sit there looking like...
I mean, if you two want to talk about trains, let's go. I'm in.
I'm building a Necromunda train, so I could actually bring this back around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the Great Escape prison break. Then they hijack a train, and every time they get to like a train station, they have to all pretend to be German. It's like, it's really good. And then they have to go up through the Alps and like side on a train. It's like, it's a good old war movie.
Yeah, there's the Dirty Dozen one where Hitler basically sends his next generation of great minds elsewhere, and they basically just get murdered by the Dirty Dozen.
What, on the train?
On the train, yeah. But a really fun story is Paddy Mayne during World War II. So he's
one of your favourite people?
One of my favourite people. So he's SAS. If you've ever seen Rogue Heroes, they've not touched this storyline yet because this is like after D-Day. But for whatever reason, I can't remember all the facts. So if anyone's like, if anyone watch it, is this live?
Yeah, it's live.
Oh, we're straight in, all right.
Yeah, we're straight in.
But, I'm sure there'll be some history buffs.
Do you want to start here? Yeah, it feels good.
We'll just go.
Yeah,
we'll
few minutes.
But I'm sure there'll be some history buffs that can correct this. But basically, he gets a train and finds out there's loads of prisoners on it. So he's like, well, I'm not having this. So he basically takes the train to Vienna or some neutral country. I think it's maybe Switzerland. Gets them all off. To safety.
That's nice of him. Yeah. Not even a date first.
Yeah, he's like literally going for all enemy territory. And he's like, right, now we've done that, let's crack on with the mission with the train. So then drives the train all the way back to continue with the mission. It's
amazing.
Like insane.
Amazing.
He's Paddy Mayne because he is insane.
I like the concept of driving trains because there's no left or right. You just, I don't know what you're...
I always find it really funny. What
are you doing?
Where head office is, you've got the White Hart Crossroads and the trams, obviously...
This is Games Workshop head office.
Yeah. So the trams are obviously... follow a tram line.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you indicating left? Are you still going to pull off the rails and just like go down to Dunkirk Island?
That would be good. I'm going to say hello to everybody on Juggz.
Everybody.
The Bras, that's what the Juggz viewers...
They support us.
They support us.
They support
the Bras.
us.
We're joined by Chris. Chris, welcome back, Chris.
I'm back.
You're back. You're back.
But in a different capacity.
Yeah, yes. Louise still has got no voice.
No voice. We're going to be her voice.
Yeah.
I might do a Timmy voice later on if I feel the mood.
I feel so fragile and I'm not doing so good.
I'm God's weakest soldier, Mr. Sharp, sir.
I'm one of the weakest fellas in all the world. She's going to try and record a video in 2 days, or she thinks, but she still is. She's really self-conscious, I think, clearly, or obviously, about the fact that like her voice is croaky.
Yeah.
And
she sounds like a hag, doesn't she, really?
No. I'm not supporting that, and I don't agree.
Does that get better or worse if you censor it?
Yeah. I'm thinking like Skyrim. Louise loves Skyrim. You know the Hag Raven? She's like that.
Oh, like that?
Yeah,
yes, you're right.
You're a Hag Raven, Louise.
Yeah.
You don't look like one, but you sound like one.
So, Chris, thanks for being here. But also, Chris has got loads of exciting stuff. Since last time you've been on, you and everything to do with Caesar Inc. and Doomsong, you're now a multi-award winner.
Oh, yes.
Is this not correct?
Yeah, we won a second award.
Okay, that's multi.
Yeah. We were nominated for loads, but only got a second.
Nomination's still pretty...
And if you write it small enough, it does look like you won the award. So, the same thing.
Yeah, nominated. Yeah. It's super small, the nomination. You and your company, you make like your sister and your wife, you make a RPG, right?
Yeah, it's called Doomsong.
Yeah.
We did the character creation, 6 months ago?
Yes.
8 months
No,
ago?
a year and a half.
Oh, God. Time is really...
A year at least. It's a year at least.
That's gone really
It's a year
fast.
at least.
Yeah.
Weasel G over there.
Weasel G.
I can't remember what my name was. I know I had criminal poetry.
Every villain from Sharp, I think.
Oh, yeah, that was,
Yeah, so since then, we ran a Kickstarter for our second adventure book, Thou Shalt Not Suffer the Witch, where you play as witchfinders, hunting witches. So now your characters you'd be creating witchfinders for a witchfinders guild. And the idea is that whilst it's still in the same grimdark setting, rather than being gravediggers who are like underfunded and underappreciated, you now have too much authority and too much funding.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So it sort of falls. It's kind of got like that Inquisitor vibe, right? You rock into town and everyone fears you.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting what happens to players when you give them that power after them
It's like
playing.
the prisoner security guard kind of like analogy thing.
They play a whole campaign where they're just like disrespected and they've got nothing more than a 6-foot shovel, and suddenly you give them like access to a free torture chamber. And they just go nuts with power.
Oh, amazing. What was the inspiration for deciding to want to do Witch Hunters?
So we played for a long time in a Call of Cthulhu campaign that we set in like a 1300s witchfindery space.
Okay.
And we did a round robin game where we each GM'd a different mystery each time. And it was just brilliant fun. Like there's so many fun like tropes of witchfinders. Like, and I think playing into that investigation thing, but also leaning into the ignorance of the era, right? And like, yeah, the ignorance, a combination of ignorance and authority really creates like good drama. And I find it's most funny to tear something down if you're imitating it, right? Which is why a lot of Doomsong has this like Catholic overtone, is because I think it's very funny to sort of put on a cassock and do a funny voice.
Okay.
Right? I think that's the best way to speak truth to power.
Yeah, I guess so, for sure.
Yeah.
Because you're also taking on the trappings of power, or perceived power to some people, to like self-reflect upon itself. I think that's quite interesting. Maybe.
I'll just throw everyone in the water and see who floats and who doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I was watching a documentary about that, and there's a bit of a myth to the floating thing, that it was more like an egg floating, like, you know, if like a bad egg floats,
Right.
that the witchfinders were like looking like at people that floated like that, and most people would eventually rise back up, and then they'd take them and interrogate them after. But they wouldn't just like leave them there, you know, like if someone sunk underneath, they wouldn't leave them to drown.
A bad egg.
I don't know. I've never found a bad egg. It's something we have to do when we're doing like, you know, like eggs, like, you know, we're going to do like egg mayonnaise or something like that for sandwiches. And it's like, just do the floating test. I was like, you didn't buy them that long ago. She's like, right, just check. So we have to do the floating test. But
I don't think I trust eggs after like 4 days. Like after I bought them 4 days, I'm like, you're
eggs can
sussy
last
now.
a long time.
I know, but I'm just saying, like that's a me thing. I know that that's wrong.
We found a perfectly. You might have to cut this whole thing because it's dull.
No, I like the egg bit. Like, if you're watching, let us know how you feel about the egg bit.
My input.
trains, eggs, and something else is going to be the
RPGs.
RPGs.
We found a perfectly spherical egg.
Oh, wow.
Right? And we Googled it. It turns out they're super rare. You can get quite a lot of money on eBay. I assume there's just one collector who buys perfectly spherical eggs.
Nice.
But we found this out way too late. And we left it on our friend's windowsill. We called it Round Egg. And every time we went to their house, we'd like go and just pet Round Egg.
Yeah.
It just became a thing. And one day we went around his house like a few months later, and he had every single thing in his kitchen cupboards out and was rummaging through his cupboards. And he was like, there's a fucking stink in here and I can't work out where it's coming from.
No.
And we all instinctively were like, oh, cool. Well, good luck to you. Where's Round Egg? And Round Egg had turned on us.
It become
Round
evil
had
egg.
gone back. So, but that took, I think, like 6 months. Like it took a really long time. So I don't think eggs really go off.
Yeah.
None of this is, by the way, food advice. Just for the requirements.
Put an egg in a window. That's going to get quite
I don't
toasty.
care what you eat. Like,
It's going to get quite toasty, isn't it?
if you're taking food advice from a podcast about Warhammer,
You shouldn't. You
I
shouldn't
do remember
that.
seeing something where someone had like milk bottles in their window sill, and then there was just like different colours of like, it's like that's white milk, that's yellow. Why is that black? It's like, how long's that been there?
Oh,
it's
no.
like students, man.
It's like the McDonald's fries that they have like a McDonald's burger and a McDonald's fries in like a case, don't they? And they like track it every year to see how much it's like deteriorated.
Oh, really?
And the fries look 5 minutes old. Like they've never.
That's
there's like,
terrifying.
Yeah. It's quite interesting to watch that. To take us away from eggs. Chris doing a great job of distracting us like Louise. Great job. Fantastic. You did a Kickstarter for your new campaign, but went well. Everything happy?
yeah, it went really well. Funded in 24 hours. And
Wow.
That's really good.
And
Yeah.
we are now at the stage of doing the actual work part of creating a book, which is fun and exciting. Morgan is currently doing a lot of like, it's sort of divided up into little mysteries. There are 7 mysteries that you solve.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, they might all turn out to be connected.
Okay, nice.
Into a kind of 1/8 Uber mystery.
Oh, wow.
Like how your seasons of Doctor Who all kind of like, oh, Bad Wolf is relevant or whatever.
Nice.
So yeah,
I get that reference.
You and everyone else approaching 40. So that's really fun. And we've got a Patreon where we're kind of uploading a mix of just stuff that doesn't really have a place in the book, but we're excited to make. Like a few monsters where we're just like, this would be a sick monster, but we don't actually have a place for it in the book.
Okay.
So it goes on the Patreon, or stuff that is going in the book that we're like, I wonder if this is just too broken. So we'll put it on Patreon, and then our Patreons are like, yeah, this is horribly broken. We love it.
Let us keep it. And you're like, no.
Because they're masochists.
Yeah.
I killed all my players. I'm like, okay.
I'll change that. No, keep it. I love it.
Also, like the fact that you said I'm approaching 40, so I appreciate you just for that.
Oh,
Thanks,
look at the young glint in your eye.
Definitely not. Probably fast approaching 50, if anything. Jesus.
So that's great news. It's going from strength to strength. And you've also been doing a lot of conventions?
Yes, because I guess we'd only just published the book last year.
You'd only just published a book. I don't know if it'd been delivered. It maybe just delivered?
Yeah. It must have, because we had a physical... Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so we've been doing the convention circuit, which is fun to be doing that again.
You used to do that, right?
Yeah, we used to do that with River Horse when Tamsin and I worked at River Horse. But now we're doing it for our own thing, which is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
How have you found doing the convention circuit as a group, especially as like an indie group, like just starting out? Because that's what you're not like. Effectively, you're a small little company, right? Like, have you found doing the circuit?
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, we are just 3 people in a shed. Like, we definitely.
I've got to observe. I think that's like so detrimental to what you do, because you are 3 people in a shed, but I think you put on the best stand.
Yeah, you put on a great stand.
Because like Tabletop Scotland, right?
Yeah.
It was like so.
I didn't go.
I know you weren't there, but Tamsin
won't
and Morgan was there, and it was just so well done. It like really lent into the narrative. They all wore like the habits and the caskets and stuff like that, and like it was all full of candles. It just looked like some weird, freaky apothecaries,
Definitely,
sort of
definitely like
corner shop kind of thing. So good.
The kind of like overarching ethos is that everything we do should feel like it fits in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like, other than like the fact that plastic's pretty shit for the planet anyway. I realize we all collect plastic.
Yeah.
But we keep that plastic safe.
We live in a society. It's fine.
It's going in a landfill eventually.
The hell? Not mine,
Charlie's
eh?
keeping his.
Yeah.
Mine's going in a landfill for sure. Yeah.
But like the other thing is like plastic just doesn't feel like it belongs in a medieval setting.
Right,
Like,
okay.
so all of the books and stuff and the coin and everything should feel like it's
Or from the time.
from the time, yeah. Because that puts the GM in the headspace of feeling like they're running a game in the setting, like they never break out of the setting.
Just get someone to do like loads of little like wooden sculptures of like figures.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
little
How much is a
carvings.
whittler? A whittler's still a thing?
I mean, Louise whittles a lot, doesn't she? So.
Yeah, I love whittling. Yeah, but like, can that's the thing to research, because you found a witch last
found a
time
witch,
to curse
yeah.
your coins.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, like, which is ironic, really, that you then wrote about a witchfinder after.
Yeah.
Because that's you.
Well, you found her.
Yeah, you found it.
That
Yeah,
was easy.
congratulations. Yeah, but I wonder what the going rate of a whittler is.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you're a whittler.
Or if you're retired from your normal job and you're just an old age fella just doing some, or lassie or MB, just doing some whittling.
Because like if you look at some of the old medieval like chess pieces, they're quite intricate. Some of those are.
Yeah.
Like really, and
Doing them at scale might be challenging.
I don't know. I mean, like if you look at like let's go to old workshop sculpts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like Necromunda, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
All of these, all these models at the back
You reckon we're going to talk about
were
Necromunda?
greens.
We're going to talk about Necromunda and eggs. That's what we're doing.
Necromunda, they were greens, weren't they?
They were greens.
To scale of the model.
Just in case we've got a younger audience or someone might not know, what the hell is a green?
A green is a green. There's a material like a putty called green stuff, and it's what they would basically make the figure out of. So they'll have like a little wire armature, so maybe let's say a paperclip, and you make like a little stick man, and then you start using like this green stuff putty, and you'd build upon that, and you'd sculpt it to the scale, and then you'd have like a green looking figure that's all sculpted to the same scale of the miniatures you would get as metal, and they were known as greens.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like everything.
Did they ever do 3-ups?
Later on for the plastics, 3-ups were done for plastics.
Right.
So, like, if you look at things like the Cadian Command Squads or the Cadians, or like in fact, School Pass box set, they had the 3-ups in the bottom of the cabinet that were all painted up as like a larger scale. Perry still do that. They sculpt all their plastic stuff as 3-ups.
Right.
And North Star, some of those guys still do that as well because they've got some 3-ups. But like Paul Hicks, we had him on for the Patreon-only episode, and he still sculpts to the scale of the models. So when he did Rifleman Peachy, like even though it's like a green stuffed head, it looked like me, which still freaks me out. I was like, how did you get like my head shape and like all the relevant features just by depressing random bits of putty? It's so talented. But yeah, I mean, people can do that with like green stuff now. I'm sure someone could do like some cool like little carved, intricate little wooden peeps. I don't know. Maybe I should just sit at home and whittle some figures.
Maybe take it with you and let me know how it goes.
Maybe a new business venture, the whittler.
Do some big boobied muscle mummy whittle. Sorry, Liz is like, we stop going on about that. I'm like, no.
Speaking of which, I don't want to derail the conversation, and I didn't prep you that I might bring it up, but Games Workshop did announce some custodies, and there was a lady custodian there.
Yeah.
Peachy, any thoughts about a big muscle mummy custody?
I think it's great. I also think it's great because my bud sculpted them.
They're very awesome.
So I'm not going to shout his name out like I sometimes do.
Sometimes Peachy will say, I'm not going to say their name now, and then immediately says their name. So we'll watch out for that.
But in case they get hate or anything like that, but because some people are very like angry about there being females in power armor, I think it looks great. I think he's done a cracking job of he's not done the whole range. I think he's done the Custodes and the Shield Captain.
Okay. Shield Captain's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the pose looks amazing.
Yeah.
And this is the first project he was telling me that he's lost his imposter syndrome now because he felt like because he's done like loads of plastics for Heresy.
Yeah.
So loads of the upgrade sprues, like the jump pack dudes.
Those jump pack dudes are great too.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of stuff that he's done, or at least contributed to. So this was like his little baby, and he was like very proud of it. And obviously, he's now a bit sad because people hate the fact that they've got female heads. It's like, get a grip on life. There's more important things to be worrying about than like a gold armored, made up person with a lady head. Jesus.
Yeah.
But they look great. I want to get some so I can start painting them up. Whether I use them for Necromunda, because I don't really do much 40k. Kill Team, potentially.
Well, they're Heresy.
Yeah.
That's a Heresy
this
release.
is it. I mean, I'm going to use my own rule systems like 5 Parsecs or like Stargrave to play 40k games or whatever.
And like you're so used to seeing them in gold that if you ever see them painted in different colours, they're quite striking models, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I did a little video where I kind of like painted 3 different variants. So it was the white armor, the black armor, and then the ones with the purple robes, which I think are the solar something. I forgot what they're called. Solar Watch, maybe. But it might be the white ones. I can't remember. But yeah, I did like a little video about those, and I stuck some female heads on them as well, and that triggered some people. That's the most thumbs down video I've had, which is great because I just now block those people that are clearly.
Chris, can I ask a question? Can you confirm or deny there are women in Doomsong? I don't.
There are women in Doomsong.
Wow, crazy. How did you feel? How did you feel being so political?
Well, we've gone woke, so the next step is, I think, to go broke.
Oh,
Okay.
well, okay.
Well, sorry to hear that.
You're struggling on that front,
Sorry
I think.
I mean, this has women in it, so that's doing all right still.
Necromunda.
But yeah, I mean, it's what it is, isn't it?
Sorry to bring that up. It was kind of generally pretty massive news that's been popping off at the moment.
I think it's really good to see like how like the people are like what's the word, promoting the Custodes, because I didn't see much negativity when they came out, because I don't tend to watch the reveal shows that much these days.
I watched it live.
Yeah, I haven't got the energy for it. I'd rather look at what Wargames Atlantic are pumping out, or what not Warlord,
that's okay,
Victrix or whatever are pumping out. But I'm
a basic bitch. That's fine. I'll hold my hands up. I mean, you're into all that. You're into the cool skirmish games. Chris literally makes games, and then I'm over here being like, I quite like them. Yeah, they're quite nice. And you're like, you silly bitch.
Not at all. I mean, I have no issue with anyone. It's not my choice.
No, it's okay. You can do it.
But I'm just tired of seeing 40k.
Yeah. To me, it's heresy. To me, it's heresy.
And Games Workshop. That's probably a better way of doing it. I'm tired of seeing Games Workshop stuff. Because I've seen it so much, and I think that marketing sort of constant, like being on and having to promote things you weren't really behind, kind of killed it for me. So it's seen other stuff like medieval figures or fantasy figures that are from other companies kind of gets me. So in my feed on Instagram, and I see like, I don't know, There's a really nice painter called Jean Painteur who like does like loads of.
His name's Jean Painteur.
Jean Painteur. Well, Painteur. I don't know how you say it. I assume he's French.
I would love it if it's Jean Painteur.
Jean Painteur. But he does some really nice stuff. He gets all the Victrix stuff, all the Wargo's Atlantic, like Baron's War stuff, and he just paints them really, really nice. And I love seeing his stuff in my feed. He's recently got some of the scenery from Victrix. He's painted that really nice, and he's done loads of like intricate designs on like the chests and whatever. So when I see stuff like that in my feed, I'm like, oh, that was cool. I like that. But seeing the Custodians was like quite nice because I know. I nearly said his name. I know me bud had put a lot of heart and soul into that. And I just didn't see any negativity, but I heard there was a lot, but I didn't see it. So I think my feed is now not full of knobheads that are really angry about women.
It's good. It's a good feed to have. Good feed to have. You, Chris, you didn't see much of this because I asked you last night. None of it.
None of it. The closest I come to looking at any Warhammer news is I play a game with a friend of mine where they either show me an old sculpt or a new sculpt that's just been released, and then without telling me which it is, ask me, is this new?
That's a fun game.
It is, because like a new Eldar came out a few weeks ago and they showed me a picture and I was like, no, I've definitely seen that before.
That's 100% been out.
It's pointy head.
Yeah.
It's got a pointy head.
Nothing new here. This is the same model I've seen 1,000 times. Like,
do you have any like miniature kind of designers or like sculptors or stuff that you do kind of keep track of, or like companies or stuff that, or because you've got quite eclectic taste. I'm going to put, when we talk about Necromunda, I'm going to show some pictures of Chris's insane kind of collection.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
Just admiring outside.
Yeah, so I think I do. I kind of like scattershot jump around, but recently I've just gotten into 15mm sci-fi stuff.
Oh,
okay.
And I keep revisiting Ground Zero Games, which is a company that I remember buying miniatures off when I was 13.
Okay.
At like war games conventions, and I was really surprised still exist. One of the things that, for all the complaining about Games Workshop that the indie sphere do, and
sorry,
Wizards of the Coast do the same thing in RPGs, right? Like they suck. They're just these horrible monoliths that like churn through artists and ruin people's lives. But what they do is a huge amount of onboarding. Like Games Workshop is a professional looking safe space that you can like leave a kid while you go shopping for an hour.
Yeah, you know it's safe as hell. Yeah.
So even if you're an indie company,
which by the way used to really annoy the staff because we became a babysitting unit.
Well, you should be so trustworthy, should you?
I know.
So I used to work with a guy who was from like the 90s Games Workshop sales team.
Yeah.
He was telling me that they always bought, if they had a choice between a shop on a high street, this could all be bullshit. If they had a choice between a shop on a high street and a shop next to a Boots, they'd choose the shop next to Boots.
Okay.
Because when mum goes into Boots to buy stuff, she doesn't want a kid with her.
Yeah.
So she's like, stick him in Games Workshop and go into Boots.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, Workshop used to have this sort of like tertiary space in town centres where it was very rare they wanted to be centre town. Yeah. One, I think rent prices were quite high anyway.
Yeah.
But it was this weird, and I kind of got it, and I think that's changed now with the ethos of like who they want to pitch to. But it would attract the wrong audience if it was too central.
Yeah.
You'd just get random people coming in and wasting but the staff's time will be dedicated to people that may not be dedicated to the hobby. And then there'll be people that could potentially be dedicated to the hobby slipping through the cracks. That was kind of the mentality behind it. So they didn't go secondary because you'd still get that. So they went like on the tertiary areas, just on the outskirts, which in a way was not great for the parents because they could potentially leave their kid there for a little while and go random, but they'd always find like a nice spot in those, like Derby was Sadlergate, so it was a nice little row of like decent shops, coffee shops and stuff like that. And when I used to say, like, we used to get annoyed by people dropping the kids off and leaving. Most of them were intended to be dropped off, and we knew the kids and we respected the parents, but you did get the odd dad who just wanted to like dump his child, and the child didn't do anything hobby related. He just saw other kids in there and then would just
That's so funny.
I had to tell him off.
Of course.
He would leave his kid for 4 hours. I generally think he was having an affair.
Down the pub.
I don't know what he was doing, but he would disappear. And the kid was too young to be there. He was like 7.
Right.
I would not leave Charlie on his own in a place I didn't know. I mean, there was other kids there, and we looked after him and made sure he was fine. But it was like, I'm sorry, we're not
That's
free
so funny.
childcare.
Like the very earliest versions of the internet, and there's just like a dad support group, and it's like, how do you get a couple of hours to yourself? It's like, well, actually, I know this one hack.
Yeah.
Right.
Just dump it with these guys. Yeah. I mean, it got a bit much after like 3 or 4 years. You're like, dude, seriously. I mean, he's old enough now. But he was not interested.
Speaking of, because interestingly, Chris, you decided you said you would go into 15 mil.
15 mil.
15
So like I've kind of always been a Legion Imperialis hater since it came out. Like when it first announced it, I was like, who wants tiny tanks?
Tiny tanks.
I was like, what the? Like, no one's getting this.
Fit more on the table, Rob.
Yeah, well, and then over the Christmas period, I was just at the local gaming store, and I was like, I'm going to pick something to build.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to paint, not the current army. I was like, I'll try a tiny tank out. I'll build a tiny tank. And I built a tiny tank, and I went, ooh, this is... This is delightful.
You can mostly dry brush it as well, Rob.
Yeah, and I was like, this is delightful. And then Toby and we went and got a bunch more stuff, and we've just been building tiny tanks, tiny planes, tiny little things all over the place.
I've just sent you some of the James Hewitt. What's the game called?
Titanicus?
No, it's there. I've got the Crown army.
Yes, the war game that they have.
Wild West, but small.
Yes.
No, they're doing a new Wild West.
No, it's not the Wild West one. Oh my God, Armored Clash. Thank you.
Armored
Brain.
Clash.
Armored Clash.
Oh, do they have tiny tanks
They
as
have
well?
tiny tanks. It's all like 10. I think it's the same scale as Legion Imperialis, but it's kind of like World War II meets sort of like the 1800s. So like the British Army have like little plinth helmets.
Steampunk tiny tanks.
Steampunk tiny tanks.
Well, they probably want it. I think I remember specifically James saying, "Don't call it steampunk." So now we're in trouble.
Diesel punk.
Diesel. Do you know?
It's steampunk.
No.
Diesel
No.
punk. It's diesel punk.
I don't care what James says. I think it's steampunk.
I don't care the guy who made it what he says. Lies.
I don't think he made it. I think he's just working there now.
Lies, deception. Every
what is
day
it?
more lies.
What is it that inspired you to just jump into teeny tiny tanks?
So I want to play a war game.
Yes.
Whenever I'm like, I want to play a war game, because I literally just have a games designer on staff
Nice.
that I
Yourself,
can bully into working
nice.
for free. I meant Tamsin, but what I do is I come up with the vibe of a game, and I just describe what me playing the game should be like.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, somewhere between Starship Troopers and Half-Life is what I want.
Nice.
So I want 15 mil as a good scale, because you still get an individual hero, just like having to, run across a battlefield to get a, communication to the other side of the battlefield or whatever. But you can also put down loads of tanks or like giant alien bugs, but also a swarm, and like it's a good scale for doing everything. So yeah, what I do when I want to play a game is just describe the kind of game I'd like to play, and then like I'll paint all of the miniatures and build a table for it. And by the time I've done that, she's like got the game ready.
Oh, it's ready.
And I can play it.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I'm like, good, this is the game I want to play.
Yeah.
So every time someone's like, oh, do you want to play, and they just name any of the, indie games that exist, I'm like, yeah. Or I could just play a game with the same vibe that no
Yeah.
one else is allowed to play. And I just get the exclusivity of like,
That's fun.
I do think there's something in like, because I used to do this with Dave Andrews a lot. He would like make up rules. He would look at like rule systems and like go, I quite like the part of that, and I quite like the part of that and stuff. And he would just make his own rules up. And they used to be really, really fun. My favourite one we did was like a zombie game. And you'd have like your guns. So you'd have like a machine gun, you'd have like a pistol. But you'd get matchsticks to represent the bullets.
Yeah.
So like, right, you got a pistol. There's 6 matchsticks for you. You've got a machine gun. You get 30 matchsticks. But when you do a shot, it's like a burst. You have to take like D6 of the matchsticks away, because that's how much you've accidentally like burst out in the.
Yeah.
And if you ever like rolled anything, it potentially jammed, but like you were limited to ammo. You only had so many like magazines of like, so you'd have like 6 matchsticks and then like a little bundle of more. Like that was the ammo you had, because it's the apocalypse.
That's fun.
You don't have millions of bullets, but it was just really good just burning through like these bullets. So like with your pistol, you're more accurate, but you get less shots off.
Yeah.
But you don't burn through as many bullets. But when you did, it's like, what am I going to use now? It's like,
Yeah.
that's a you problem, mate.
One of the first things that we'd ask people when they were like, oh, we want someone to design a war game or a RPG, but with war games specifically, like it's being like, okay, name the video game that feels like.
Yeah.
Like name the movie or video game. And, because there's so much difference.
Yeah.
Like specifically with Half-Life, like there's towards the end of Half-Life, you're one person running through a war zone between two massive armies.
Yeah.
So you feel almost like insignificant. And that's a very different vibe to playing one of those two armies.
Yeah.
So yeah, trying to work out what vibe and then like what mechanics are most important. So like running out of ammunition is a really fun sort of, it feels very kind of like scrabbling through the dirt for things. I think, is it Forbidden Psalms is really sort of like, you start with a rifle, but probably not a bullet.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Your rifle is a club.
Yeah.
And you might find a bullet in someone's pocket. Like
Perfect.
You find a corpse, you're like, oh great, a bullet, finally.
Yeah.
Missed.
I hope it's the same caliber. Oh, no. Shite.
Peach, what have you been up to this week?
What have I been up to this week? I've been doing a video on how to paint black. I've done how to paint white, so I thought I'd do how to paint black. Another hack for me just to get some more stuff done for my Star Wars potential story thread. So I've done a how to paint black fur. So I've done a Wookiee, and I've done how to paint black armor and cloth, and I've done an Imperial officer, all going to be used in my 5 parsecs. From Home 1, I've decided I'm going to call it.
Oh, that's what it's going to be called?
Yeah, it's called
5 parsecs from Home 1.
Home 1, because I'm going to have a bunch of rebels. It's just after the second Death Star's been blown up, and the Imperials are still like on the back. There's still quite a strong power and stuff, so there's lots of stormtroopers. But I'm using the 5 parsecs rules for like a couple of episodes to teach people how to play that.
Fun.
And then once I've done that, I'll probably do a compilation, so it's all in one, because I'll get a different audience, which I've discovered. And then I'll do Legion, and then I might do Shatterpoint with the same models. I know Shatterpoint uses larger models, but I might, like, I've got Shatterpoint figures that are painted in similar ways, but I'll worry about that later on. But the general concept is I'm just painting some stuff up for myself to use for, like, future games that I'm going to run. I've just... Well, it'll be released after this is out, actually. So I've got a play set from B&M, which is the common room from like the Gryffindor common room, and I've just turned it into like a cool wizard's tower for like my fantasy games. It makes a really nice diorama set as well, and I put my own little, like the Mantic furniture, the Victrix furniture. I've like put that in there, done some shots. And it wasn't until yesterday I was really annoyed myself because the videos I've done now and like on Patreon. It's like, damn it, that looks like a really cool Whitby Abbey, and I could do my Sharp episode on that. I should have put some bloody silver bayonet figures on it and Sharp shooting Dracula in the face, because I got Dracula and I forgot and I hate myself. Sorry, everybody at home, I'm sorry. But because I want to do an episode of like, I've done like Sharp's fighting a werewolf, Sharp fighting a demon. I want to do Sharp fighting Dracula. Okay. I've got 3 episodes. I always do them as like a season of like 3 episodes. And it's going to be Sharp and Hornblower escorting Dracula's body on the Demeter to Whitby Abbey. But obviously the Demeter's not going to get, like, it's not going to turn up empty with no crew, because Sharp and Hornblower are on it. So it's like an alternate version of that story thread.
That's fun. What mythical creature, dragon, can Sharp fight a dragon?
Of course he can fight a dragon.
Okay, perfect.
As long as he fires 3 shots a minute in any weather, he'll be fine.
A demigorgon. I don't know anything else.
A demigorgon, you can fight a demigorgon.
No problem, perfect.
I mean, I've got ghosts, I've got vampires, ghouls.
Ghost, how does he fight a ghost?
Well, you just put some salt in his rifle, fire some salt, maybe get some cold iron, deal with it that way. Maybe get a ghost hunter. Maybe get I don't know.
Put a ghost hunter in the rifle. And
put a ghost hunter in the rifle.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think. I mean, he kind of like. I mean, he could hire Van Helsing. He could hire Van Helsing.
He could.
And Van Helsing knows his craft.
He does.
If we're going like the Hugh Jackman one, he was a Roman, so he's long lived, isn't he?
Yes.
He fought as a Roman all the way through and lost his memory.
Still a Rome.
But then there's
still a Rome, I think.
They're still Romans.
He's still, that's true. Yeah, you're right. But he was like a legionnaire Roman.
Oh, okay.
A legionnaire Roman, not like someone just. Yeah. I'm just like riding him on my Paggio like chow. Like he's not that kind of like Roman. Well, he might be. I don't know. He probably is now.
Because
he still exists. Or there's the Anthony Hopkins version from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Of Dracula?
Yeah, that's Van Helsing. He plays Van Helsing in that.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
there's a Lady Van Helsing show I remember watching and thinking it was... No, not Lady Van Helsing.
That's Stephen Moffat's Van Helsing trilogy show.
Yes. Is that the Dracula one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about
First 2
Dracula.
are pretty good. Yeah. Third one's like not.
That was the one that came out kind of recently.
I've not seen the recent episode. I only caught the first season.
Okay, well, there's only 3 episodes.
Sorry.
Yeah, the first 2 were quite good, and the third one was like very strange. Yeah, I think. Yeah, very strange.
Is that when he comes out the ocean and it's like the modern
It's like
day?
modern day.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, 'cause she was Van Helsing.
Speaking
wasn't
of
she?
horror, and no spoilers, but because you're still going to go see it this week, but I went and saw 28 Years Later Bone Temple.
Yes.
This week.
You were talking about that to me.
Amazing.
The Savile crew.
Yeah. We're not going to say any more.
No.
Not say any more. You've seen the first part, right?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so you've seen the end part, but yeah, insane. And also very British. Like, it was fun watching very British horror and like them having conversations about like British horror, and I was like, oh, I can't wait for you all to see it, and we can talk about it and tell me what your thoughts are. Yeah. Chris maybe doesn't like it though. Controversial topics on movies. What's your favorite movie? Oh, I don't want to put you on the
Favourite
spot.
movie?
No, I'm not going to put you on the spot. That's too much. I apologize.
I think it
Flash
was
Gordon.
Blade Runner for a long time.
It was Blade Runner.
It was Blade Runner for a long time. But now I think I would struggle to choose a favourite movie.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because you did the Bond watch through.
Yeah, I would happily say every Bond film is my least favourite movie.
That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong.
Not a good one among them.
I mean, there were of its time. I will agree with that. I still love Spider.
It's also I'm realizing as I see more, and I don't obviously want to go to this in any detail, but like as I'm watching more kind of stuff on the telly nowadays, I'm thinking spies aren't that, or at least modern day spies are not that smart, and also really hello, I'm Bond, a spy, and I was like, well, you're not quite a good spy. Everyone knows who you are, but like it's more of a gigolo or like a.
It's just sex pest. An alcoholic sex
which we
pest.
learned make quite good spies. Like in the
I
modern
mean, it was
day.
based off like several people that Ian Fleming met. If you watched it on Gentleman Warfare, I forget the character Henry Cavill plays, but James Bond is inspired by him.
Right.
And then it was like two guys. One was like super active and one was like super like intelligent. And I guess maybe Ian Fleming threw a bit of himself in there as well.
Yeah, it's just a power fantasy, right?
Yeah,
like,
but, I mean, the books are much different than the movies, for sure. And like The Spy Who Loved Me, not The Spy Who Loved Me, You Only Live Twice, for instance. The book of that, I love the movie because there's ninjas in a volcano layer fighting against baddies in builders' outfits with builders' helmets. Blofeld's there. In the book, it's a small temple in Japan, in the city.
Oh,
and there's
very different.
And there's like two guards, and it's called the Garden of Death. And it's just surrounded by like really venomous plants and like poisonous plants and stuff like that. And Bond just horribly murders by suffocating Blofeld in mud.
Oh,
that's the one where they scientifically make him Japanese, right?
Yes. That is, I think, where Team America got some inspiration from.
It's not inspired. It's the same scene. It is shot for shot the same scene.
It was a choice.
not a good choice.
Not a good choice. I mean, there is the Roger Moore era, which is very camp, but I can't. I think if you were to put a gun to my head and said which is your favourite Bond, I would go Daniel Craig because they feel a bit more gritty, and I think they are. I mean, Timothy Dalton's pretty.
It's also, if you're going to watch all of them, it's the shortest run.
It is.
So you
It's
spend
like
the least
two.
time watching James
Two?
Bond films.
Yeah. I don't know. If you pick George Lazenby, it's even shorter.
I don't know.
I think you got
feel it, though, is it?
I think you got to forgive every movie in the 70s and 80s because they were on such heroic amounts of drugs. Like it's amazing anything got made at all, really. Like there must have been one sober guy who turned up every day. Is like, don't worry, I've clicked record. I got this. And then just stitched it together.
It's my theory that before the internet, if you wanted to see a woman in swimwear or a fast car or an Italian hotel, the only way to do that was by watching a James Bond film.
Yeah.
Because there's no internet.
Yes.
I think the entire thing is just essentially fulfilling the same role in society that Google Images now fulfills.
I also think it was a really good way.
Or Nuts magazine.
Or it's the Nuts magazines of movies.
I also think because it's not like the books, I think it was a really good way of like the directors just getting a lot of holidays because in every James Bond film, I think they travel to at least 5 different locations in the world. Multiple times.
Yeah.
So like, like they're in the Caribbean, then they're in Russia, and then they're back to the Caribbean, then they're in the Sahara. Like, wow, that was a jump.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you ever watched any of the Man from U.N.C.L.E. Movies from that era?
I loved the Man from U.N.C.L.E. TV show.
Yeah.
And I liked the recent Arnold Hammer aside because I think he...
Is it Cavill and Armie Hammer in that?
Is he a cannibal? Or
he's a cannibal or was a cannibal a bit. Like a bit, not like full time. Like he just did a bit.
It's just a hobby.
Like an experimentation.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know where he currently stands on it. I'm not. I sound like I'm defending
I
him.
just sound a bit like that.
Yeah, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to say, like, I don't think he's like leader of the cannibal cult.
You're saying that is a fact rather than a rumor.
I think it's a fact. Yeah, I think it's.
Okay.
I think it's an established fact.
Which is probably why I didn't do movies anymore.
Yeah, I'm just going to trust that from you and not look it up.
Oh, no, I'm pretty certain.
Okay.
I did for a while. I remember reading quite a lot about it, but because he tried to make a comeback.
Right.
Made it come back
Into
a bit.
cannibalism into movies.
Into movies. And then everyone was like, aren't you the cannibal guy? And he was like, okay, let me make a statement about that and then we could just kind of move past it. And everyone's like, I'm not sure I can move past it.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know
eat
more.
people.
I think the problem is it was too interesting.
Yeah.
Like, because it wasn't necessarily, I don't know. If they were dead and they were like, you can eat me.
It kind of makes me think of the It Crowd episode where Moss gets invited to a cannibal's house and he thinks he's there to have a dinner with this guy.
Yeah, but
and
the guy
watch
wants to
movies.
eat him.
Yeah. And it's like a really misunderstood advert in the newspaper.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's quite. In the end, they all just sit watching on his big TV screen like movies and stuff like that.
Oh.
But the guy's like there, like getting his carving knife out. But he's asked permission, but it's still wrong. Isn't it?
So, no cannibalism for you. You're doing a video about painted black.
Paint it black.
Yeah, paint it black.
I might
And then
start
next
the
week
lyrics
you're gonna-
of the song.
Perfect. And then next week you're going to do a video about how to turn stuff from a toy shop into something.
So that's this week. Toy Shop is released this week,
Yeah.
or of filming. Next week will be how to paint stuff black. I've got some older shots I might try and throw in. I'm not sure about that, but it's what I want to do. I'm trying to get closer to being a little bit more ahead, but I need to get on with Oathmark because that's like a story conclusion to my Whitewood Mercenary Company. But also, I just want to do some other stuff. There's like loads of games I want to cover. I still need to do V episodes 2.
You do?
I keep getting nagged at by people going, Peach, when's V episode 2 happening? Because they did a little sort of narrative story where I used a load of Crooked Dice figures because they got like the V Troopers from the 80s show. Basically,
Oh, right, yeah.
I went full on and went, I really like V, but I like 80s movies. So I just got a load of 80s characters. So like even like Stranger Things, Hopper's there. I've got Hopper, TJ Hooker, bunch of like the Resistance from the TV show V. I've got the Sweeney, one of the guys from the Sweeney in
This
there.
fan fiction approach to wargaming.
Yeah, I've just got to do it. I mean,
It's really fun.
Yeah.
The second episode, I've got RoboCop, so I'm going to have a van turn up with OCP on it. RoboCop's going to rock up. I'm going to have Axel Foley. I've got a model of him painted up. Ripley's going to be there. It's just all sorts. Just
Best RoboCop movie, 1, 2, or 3.
one. Although
Have
there
you
was
seen?
One is legitimately one of the best films ever made.
Wow, that's a
3
huge statement.
3 is a fucking riot to watch just because of where 1 ended up.
Yeah, 3's my favorite.
Like-
3's my
Oh,
favorite.
really?
Yeah,
That's the one with
absolutely.
the jetpack, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
jetpack. Yeah,
Stupidest film.
and the riot. Right, it's great. 3's the best. I love 3.
I still don't understand why in the first one he chooses to shoot the guy in his dick.
Well, because
He has to shoot through the skirt, right?
yeah, and he's also, don't forget, he's a policeman.
It's true, yeah.
Like that's the goal.
Shoot people in
You
the
tell
dick.
you, there's no way you cannot tell me policemen don't get back to like the office and they close the door and they're like, "Do you see I shot him in the dick?" Like unbelievably cool. Like they are loving it. I reckon.
So it's like because his bits are out
I know.
and he shoots it off. It's just like unnecessary, gratuitous. It's like
the bit in Terminator 2 no one remembers about how the guy set fire to and fucked an Afghan hound.
what?
No one remembers this. There is a scene in Terminator 2 where it might be Terminator 1 actually. It's Terminator 1. Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese are explaining that they're being hunted by a Terminator. And it cuts to 2 police officers who are like, you think this guy's crazy? Last week, someone set fire to and fucked an Afghan hound. No one remembers it.
Wow. That's insane.
I don't remember that.
You've seen Terminator, right?
I've seen Terminator loads of times.
It's in there.
You're gonna have to go watch it now,
It's in there.
Peach.
I'll watch it again,
Like
yeah.
lock in.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You're not
That's
locking
wild.
in. Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it might also be. I might be getting confused here, but I think Sarah Connor's housemate was dating that guy. I think it's alluded to that her crazy ex-boyfriend is the guy. But I might be getting that confused.
That's quite fun though, if it's
Yeah.
the case.
So just a subplot no one
No, yeah, even more fun if John Connor was actually the illegitimate love child of the crazy guy.
The Afghan Hound.
Yeah, not of the Afghan Hound. Wow, that's not what I was saying at all. No, no. Wowzers. No, I wasn't saying that in any way. In fact, I'm going to move the conversation on.
I was going to say, in fact, I kind of want the Terminators to take him out for that reason alone.
So, Chris, just what have you been up to? So you said what you've been up to. Is there anything currently that you guys are working on that you're like excited to tell us about? Or just, what have you been doing in your personal hobby time or like anything?
Personal hobby time. Been painting so many 15mm guys that it's crazy. And building little buildings so that I can get some RTS elements in my game.
Where have you been getting your buildings from? Or have you just been scratch building them?
So I've been making them out of the smallest size of really useful box.
Oh, smart, yeah.
Because I strongly think all buildings should have fully equipped interiors.
Yes, yeah.
The really useful box, you can use the lid of the useful box as like, it leaves a base plate. And you can put little chairs and stuff.
Yeah.
Then you can take the lid off when the people are inside and put the lid on.
Did that with Charlie for his bunker for his World War II set. Yeah, smart.
Also, they're like 2.5 centimeters deep, which means that if you magnetize it, you can also put your troops in it.
Yeah.
Shut the box, and then your troops are safe for transport inside the buildings that you're.
Sweet.
Wow, that's cool.
So one of the things I've stumbled upon, because I've done this twice now for Christmas presents for Charlie, is I've used a really useful box, but they have a habit of being really annoying. I've coated them in varnish, sprayed them grey, coated them in varnish, but they still just flake.
Sandpaper the.
So, okay, that's what I'm going on. Get some grit in there, get some texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart, yeah.
And then on top of that, I use the spray paint that's like just guaranteed will spray on anything.
Okay, well, like plastic coat kind of stuff? Or?
I think it's Rust-Oleum Super Extra Double Spray on anything. I don't know.
That sounds like a really big label to stick on a spray can.
That's a big name. You sure we're going with that, boss? Yeah. Get it on. It'll work.
What about you, Rob? Have you been up to it?
I ran 2 events at the weekend.
No, it's upstairs. Looks very nice and tidy upstairs, by the way.
It does.
It looks like a shit tip normally.
Well, it does. Let's be real. Yeah. I ran 2 events the weekend. We did a foray event, which is the 500-point format Old World. Super busy, which is great. And the big news was, I think maybe 8 or 9 people who'd never been to an event. And so that's always a lot of responsibility, but like is also exciting because it's so clear to me now that war games should be doing these entry format experiences as something that they produce. I feel like you should go into a Games Workshop and they're like, I fancy playing Old World, and there's even if it's like printed out from like a HP printer in the office, it's like, well, here's your 2 pages of missions to go and play as a beginner, off you go. And then like maybe like 15 or 16 of the people were new to the actual space, like they'd never been here before. So I was like, this is cool, but it's so interesting seeing people who are like, I've never been to a thing. And you're like, how are you finding it? And they're like, it's cool. And you're like, that's fun. And probably that's them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Probably doing stuff like that forever. So that's really fun. And then the day after, we did a 750-point heresy event, so it's the same sort of vibe. Had a lot of like weird situations where lots of people just dropped out last minute.
Yeah.
So I think there was meant to be 18 of us, and I think we ended up with 8 of us. So it's kind of, sometimes you do get people dropping out, but like I was like, it just felt like we were just hemorrhaging people. And I was like, this is kind of crazy. But everyone again seemed to have a really nice time. There were some really amazing armies. In fact, my friend Connor was the only person who like
John Connor?
Not John Connor. No. Connor the Goop Master. Goop Master.
Okay.
But he hadn't painted his stuff because there's no paint requirements.
Okay.
Just because, again, the goal of these events is to try and get people
cool.
to play for the first time and build up a community who want to play the heresy. But everyone else had just nailed it. All their armies looked amazing. And Connor was like, because he's got a fully painted Emperor's Children army, like a pretty fully painted Mechanicum army. He was like, if I'd have known, because I now feel like a twat. I was like, bless you. I painted some stuff up to play, but I unfortunately didn't get to play because that's the thing about running an event, right? If it's spare, I get to play. Exciting. So it did that, and then I've just made videos this week. Did Stat Center, did like some, which is for the AOS. Me and Val had a really great chat yesterday about the FAQ for Old World. It's not out yet. We're really hoping it comes out soon because everyone's kind of like. And interestingly, there's been no news about Old World from Games Workshop since the 20th of November.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So like 2 months is quite a long time to hear nothing about.
The old scandal just got worse.
Just got worse.
Oh,
Just got
gosh.
worse.
Oh, no.
Exactly. So there's that. The new Skutari book is coming out, so I'm reviewing that tomorrow. So just like my kind of usual stuff. And then this weekend I have an AOS event and a Heresy event at the same time, and I'm really hoping I get to play in the Heresy event. Like I have someone coming in to help me film the bat reps. And then I've got someone else coming in to like just hang out.
Yeah.
So maybe, fingers crossed, I'm going to run my new knights out at some people. They're not very good because we wrote the missions, and the way you score points is you have certain units, and I don't have. The army doesn't have any of those units because you don't have them in.
Tool.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm not too bothered about that. Like I more just want to kind of see what the experience is like. So that's going to be fun. And then we put our first bat rep up on YouTube and Patreon.
How did that go?
Both. Yeah, I got some really nice feedback. Did I say last week? Someone said, I think I said this last week, someone said that they were really excited about watching the battle reports because it's two people playing in a tournament and just playing a game.
Yeah.
And they were like, I'm really excited to watch it because whenever I watch other battle reports, normally it's two people being quite high energy and gregarious. And they're like, if I had to go to an event and that was the case, I'd never go. Okay. And I was like, I had never thought of that.
Yeah.
I never thought about the idea that like very confident, very like energetic people would be something.
Yeah.
Not that the people who are playing at the tournament aren't those.
No.
But they're not putting on a show.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, what's that? Are you showing the rules and then being a bit more animated in showing those rules to look enthusiastic? Because you don't like dull presenters, do you? But at the same time, the reality of it is people are just chilling, talking, playing, moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's a big risk. Like, we've taken on an editor, so like I've taken a big pay cut to like see if we can make it work. If we can bring the numbers kind of back to balance by the summer, then that would be great. And it's been really fun.
But I suppose that frees you up because you aren't editing as much, so someone else is doing that for you, which means more content. More content means maybe more...
No, they're only editing the battle reports, and that's it. But hopefully that's going to be
work harder.
Yeah,
Come on!
I don't think I'll do that actually.
No. We've been there, Rob. We know what that's like.
I had a good chat actually. He was like, I mainly work in the afternoons and evenings because I need to childcare in the morning. So that was okay. I was like, you can do it through the night. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Do it whenever you like.
Yeah, make it work for you.
Yeah. Just do the job and do it whenever you want to do it. And it was like, cool.
When we're talking to Mark Gibbons, and when we're in the studio, I start at 9, I finish at 5:30, and that's like, right, Peach, 9 till 5:30. That's when you need to be creative. And like Mark Gibbons was saying, this is like I can't just switch it on. It's like I'm either creative sometimes at night and sometimes in the morning. It comes to me.
No,
I
have to.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to. That's your process.
Yeah, I have to be in work at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I stop work at 5:30. And I discovered during COVID how quickly I go off the rails if I don't do that. Like I will just become nocturnal. Yeah.
I suppose, my point is like I'm creative a lot of the time, but sometimes during the day I have like a bit of a lull. Yeah. I'm like, what do I do? What should I jump onto that? Maybe it's like a bit of analysis paralysis potentially. I don't know, but yeah, I did find like I'll be driving back home from work and I'll be like silver car with yellow, and I was like, oh, that's quite a good colour scheme. Maybe I could do that for some like Mandalorians. I don't know, maybe. And like maybe I should do that for an Imperial Guard army. I don't know. So like my creativity is like building up as I'm like at home as well. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of get that you do need that time, don't you? That set time to do certain things. But
yeah, I think also like it means that if I'm working loads and I'm really jonesing to do a hobby thing, right? Like I've got like a bunch of aliens I want to paint or something, and I know they're sitting there at home. Not being able to do that until the evening means that the first thing I do when I get home is like start doing it. Yeah. Whereas I think if I could just pick things up and do it whenever I wanted, I'd do less.
Okay, that's fair.
The less free time I have, the more creative stuff I get done.
Interesting. So yeah, I suppose you're being a bit more disciplined with your creativity as opposed to it like running wild and then you just not doing it.
Yeah.
Because that's a danger.
I thrive under oppression. But now that I'm my own boss, I have to oppress myself.
Yeah.
So
I get that. Yeah. I have certain like rules when I'm filming during a week, like this day's for this, this day's for this. So yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Talking about creativity, though, one of the things that we're here to talk about today is Necromunda.
I did say quite early on in the episode, I'm sick and tired of workshop-related stuff, except Necromunda.
Except Necromunda.
I love
The
Necromunda.
saying that everyone has is that every model is a Necromunda model, right?
Yes,
That's the ongoing phrase inside the community.
And I still think that's pretty true.
Yeah?
I still think I don't think there's a single model, fantasy or sci-fi, that you couldn't, certainly from a workshop range, that you couldn't find a place in Necromunda. I think it'd be even like the alien-related stuff, like grabbing a new Tyranid beast and going, that's just a sump monster.
Sump monster.
I can just like put some extra tendrils on there. Getting a Custodes is like, why can't a Custodes be there? Because they randomly turn up sometimes and they go, just going to save that guy from a grenade. The guy's like, oh, cool, thanks, Golden Warrior. Oh, he's gone. Oh, dead.
We've got a Carnifex that shows up as a random wandering monster in our game.
Nice, yeah.
Same stat line as in 40k.
Yeah.
It just destroys. It just
makes
eats
sense, though.
everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
To like,
It's just an absolute kill machine.
yeah, don't go near it. But it's also got this like, so every time it loses a wound, it loses a wound permanently. So if it comes into like a game in 3 weeks' time with different players, it's got one less wound.
Oh, nice.
I like
So
that.
eventually it's going to die.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have the glory of killing it.
But then maybe it's had babies.
Oh, maybe it's had babies. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
They've
found, you're not,
immediately
it's the
grown to
queen,
that
you're not
size.
found the nest yet. Oh, no.
What's everyone's history with Necromunda like? What's like your background and kind of like when did you get into it and like when was it of interest to you?
Do you want to start first?
Yeah. So I think I played, not by the rules, but I played Necromunda when I was 13, 14, sort of on the floor. And with like all the games that we played as teenagers, we just threw the rulebook out and then made the rules, which is funny when you end up meeting sort of old Games Workshop people in the industry who are like, oh, you played the game I designed. And you're like, actually, we threw the rules out.
Sorry, James.
Soz.
Yeah. And then I got back into Old Cromunda is what we call Old Necromunda. And then New Cromunda is what we now play.
Yes.
And I think we started maybe 3 years ago playing Old Cromunda again.
Yeah.
And then eventually that got so heavily patched, there wasn't a single rule left in it. So we swapped the entire melee system out for the melee system from Mordheim.
Okay.
Okay,
It's a better system.
It is a better system.
And that
yeah.
like 1 inch move to block a charge.
It was quite
is a
clunky
really-
for Necromunda, I think, the combat. And that was the same combat system they used for 40k second edition as well. Which is like, how did you get anything done? Because that took ages.
They didn't. There's a really amazing YouTube video actually of a guy describing playing a game of second edition. He like goes through all of the rules and what happens, and he's like, yeah, so in this situation, no one does anything. Like it's like really funny to like, you know, watch the guy be like, no, it doesn't work. But it's like I'll find it. It's really high quality, high fidelity. It's fantastic. Anyway, apologies.
Yeah. So as soon as you're rolling 5 attacks, like one person's always winning.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we patched that all out. Obviously, we were playing it with alternating activations because
That's cool.
I can't even remember if the original Old Cromunda has alternating activations. Or
I
if
don't
it's
think
all
it did.
games.
No, I think it was like, you did.
So we reached a point where we'd modded that to a point where there was nothing.
Yeah.
doing. And I never wanted to play New Cromunda because it's spread across 5 different rule books, and it's also not a fun game to try and play from the rule book. But you introduced me to Necro
Raw.
which honestly, if that website existed for any war game, it doesn't matter how badly written your war game is. The fact that you can Google any rule, type any, not Google, search any rule, and it just tells you the rule, and then every keyword is hot linked in a way that you push it and you get a pop up and it explains that rule, and like
It's hyperlinked to other rules.
yeah, but not even doesn't take you to a new page. It opens a little pop up window in the page that you're on that's like, oh, this is what
That's smart.
plentiful means, because plentiful's used in this stat block, so it doesn't take you away from the stat block that you're using. It's just like that's the thing that makes New Cromunda playable.
Yes.
It's like, that's incredible. You and I, we played a game of Necromunda yesterday.
Literally last night, yeah. Also, interestingly, for Old World, there's also TOD.raw or whatever it is, TO app or whatever it is. And I'll get shouted out by the Old World dudes for saying it. But like, that's incredibly useful as well. And again, searchable, like rules and like hyperlink to a bunch of stuff, and it's really fantastic. It's not as good as Necro Raw actually, and then for Heresy, absolutely nothing. Little side note, I actually I started doing the Heresy stuff on the Heresy channel, and then I got to try to review the first book, and so you'll have a unit. And it'll be like, a good example would be the new Breachers just came out, okay? So they're Space Marines and they've got shields and they've got a gun, right? But in the kit, there's like a gravity gun and there's like a las cutter. So you're like, right, okay. The profile, if you actually look at a physical book of the Heresy book, it's like the unit is the top third with all of the rules and all the stuff, right? And then there's 2/3 of nothing. And it's like, right, you could take it for a las cutter. And you're like, cool. And it doesn't feature what a las cutter is on the page. No other unit also in the game can even take a las cutter, right? So like, I don't think anyway. So I think it's specific to them. And then you're like, right, I need to go and look for what the las cutter does. So you go to the back and then you go into the missile weapons, right? And then that's broken out into like missile weapons, grenades, bolter weapons, gravity weapons, these sorts of things, las weapons, whatever it would be. And you're like, cool, I'll look for it in the las weapon section because it's a las cutter.
Yeah.
Wrong. It's an exotic weapon.
Okay.
Which is somewhere else, but you look through and you're like, okay,
so clunky.
Yeah, and like in Admech, there's one that's like graviton hammers. Yeah, and you're like, oh my god. So you go to wrong. It's a shooting attack. It's a gravity shooting weapon.
Of course it is.
Yeah, right.
It's got the word hammer in it because we always throw them, don't we?
Yeah. So basically, my options were spend to me what would have been an incredible amount of time to like put it all into data, put them into a thing, and then build it. So that I could review it or just not review it. So I just didn't review it. Yeah. Like it's just stopped. And I basically stopped doing Heresy stuff at that moment. And then Tom has literally spent about a week and a half building me an app where he takes the data from somewhere else online now, and then has just built me. It's only for me. It's like it's on my computer. Yeah. Like it's not like one that's online. And then everything is keyword searchable. And then the units, I'm like, okay, cool. If I take a Marine unit and I give them bolters, then it will show me what a bolter is on the page, and then I can review it.
Yeah.
But if there's not and if Necro Raw didn't exist,
I wouldn't play Necromunda.
I don't think Games Workshop would sell as much stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like these websites are kind of a strange companion piece that they don't. Anyway, that was my problem because there's lots of people in Heresy who are like, I don't know what it does, so I don't play.
I do think the new Necromunda is super clunky, and I've had a couple because they do the house books. I really like the house books, and I'll come back to my beginnings of the journey of like Necromunda as well. But like they originally did the rule book, and then there was the Gangs of Necromunda. I think was a book which just like was a bit of a sort of like here's the Escher gang rules, here's the like Orlok gang rules and stuff like that. They had like some rules at the back, some special rules, but you have to go to the rule book to find those. But sometimes you have to go to the back of the Gangs book to find them. Like I've had a couple of books where it's like, I don't think it's the House of Blades like the Escher ones, but it's probably been like Enforcers or something like that. So the
Palatine Enforcers.
Palatine Enforcers. There's been like a special weapon, and it's like, here's the special rules. So you go to the back, the special rules aren't in there. I'm like, okay, I'll go to the rule book. But at that point, the rule book didn't have the special rules in it. The new one does. But there was nothing in the rule book. There was nothing in the Palatine Enforcer book, even though it's a Palatine Enforcer gun with a special rule in it. I had to go and find it in like the House of Blades or like the Goliath House of Chains book. I was like, what happens if I didn't own this book?
Yeah.
I would not know how this special rule worked.
That would be your fault.
It would be my fault. So I do think as rules go, it's very clunky. I really do like playing that rule system, the new one. I've enjoyed playing it. But I still think my initial journey in Necromunda, because it was the first time of experiencing that kind of game as well, because I did a lot of war games and stuff, because it was pre-Mortime, because Mortime came a little bit later, like 2000s. This was like 95.
This is the original Necromunda you're talking about?
The original Necromunda, so 95. They redid Necromunda later on, but it was still using like the same mechanics, and it like the Fanatics team had like made some new models and stuff, which I would say were worse than the originals. It's a bit of a harsh thing to say, but I think they were.
Well, it's okay, you can say it.
But yeah, so we got it in 95. My brother got it for Christmas. He wanted the Goliaths. Wasn't really zazzed about the Orloks. And then I was just like looking through the book, and there was a white dwarf, and it was like one pitch, and there was like 3 Eschers surrounding each other. I think there might have been 4. And I was just like, they look cool. Punk ladies with like punk hair and like laser guns and stuff like that. I was like, I want to get them. And my dad was like, I like the bold guys in big coats. I'm like, of course you do, because you're a bold guy in a big coat. Why not? Go for that. Knock yourself out, Dad. And there was like one battle report. It's in this Battles of the Underhive one. And I think it's Warwick and Steve, Anastasov, I don't know how you say his name. And it's Escher's versus the bold men.
The bold men. Yeah, the bold men in coats. In coats.
Yeah. It was just a really good scenario. It's in here somewhere. I forget what it's called now. But I just really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed reading through that. That's a really good book. Cause it's just like
culture war in a nutshell, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It is the culture war in a nutshell. Yeah.
But yeah, I think like just playing the first few games, we just had so much fun and seeing like the potential of like your characters will die or they will advance or they get an injury. That injury could be they lose an eye. That injury could be they lose a leg or I was like,
to life.
Yeah, exactly. And you got attached to the figures to the point that I would then go to Games Workshop Derby and I'd get a blister pack of like some more Eschers because that model that's got like the really big punky pink hair with a las rifle shooting, my favourite pose of all time, is like she's lost a leg. I have to get a new one and model that on that now. And that I just found that just so engaging, so fun. And yes, it was the cardboard scenery that came in the box, but we had a great time. It was like using Coke cans and spraying them up to look like silos or like weird sort of water filters or whatever. But my first sort of like engagement with it was me, my two brothers, and my dad, and my sister like kind of like the models, and she joined in from time to time. But it was a proper family sort of like engagement and playing games, and all sorts of weird stuff happened. But yeah, I got really invested in it. Yeah. Super invested.
Mine, I jumped into Necromunda when the new one released.
So new Munda.
New Munda. I hadn't played it before, but then I'm fairly new to the hobby. Like I only started 11 or 12 years ago, whenever it was. Like, but like in the timeline, I never played as a kid or anything. So like that was my first experience, and I was very, very excited. I actually told this story to Chris last night. Like I was very, very excited. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to do that thing, the thing you just described. I was like, it's going to be super fun. And I spent ages like writing my little gang out and having a little story and make sure I modeled them right and stuff. And then I played someone who I played regularly playing like tournament Warhammer at the same time, and they brought Vansars with plasma gun and some shields. And my guys basically just all died immediately. And it looked like I knew quite a lot about like gaming. So I was like, okay, it seems like you're 2s and 2s and I'm 5s and 6s and you get a 2 up against it. I don't really feel like there's ever a shot here.
See, I really struggled using the Vansars, the newer ones, because I was one of my recent war gangs. I've done all the gangs because I had a plan to do like a big game of the family, and I built the Vansars. One of the things I learned when doing the Vansars was don't build them as they are built on the box. That's just to show all the different unit types, all the builds. You cannot make a legal gang or afford that gang.
Yeah, you use your shields and plasma guns or whatever it is.
But you can't afford all them, and you can only have so many of those depending on like.
Feels like you only needed 2. Well, if I'm honest,
as an Escher, I'm always like running forward, stabbing, shooting pistols, stabbing, shooting another pistol, stabbing. So when I moved to the Vansars, it's a lot of stand back, hide behind cover, fire. But I struggled to get like more than a couple of plasma guns in, and the rest were just like las guns. But they were slightly better with the las guns, but the Escher las guns, I think, were better quality ones than the because like some of the weapon options, or they're cheaper actually. They're cheaper with the Eschers, so you get more las weapon with the Eschers because they make the guns in the lore. Whereas the Vansars, it costs them a bit more, so you can only have so many of certain weapons and whatever. But I really struggled using the Vansars because I have this urge just to run and hit stuff. And I think that's can't do that with Vansars.
It's like finding your gang, right?
Yeah.
But so I was so despondent. I was like, well, this has been a terrible. Two things I think had happened. One, I'd built it up too much. I was like, I'm so excited to have a fun time. And then I got the crushing reality of someone just just not engaging in, like it was a mismatch. Like someone was like, I'm not here for that. I'm here to just win. And I was like, okay, that's my fault because that's what sometimes games are. So like I mismanaged our relationship in that regard. I think they're also in Necromunda rules right now, which I was telling Chris last night, which is funny to me. I was like, because it literally put me off for for four years or something.
Okay,
you know, like anyone would say, I like narrative games, I'd spit on them.
You used to do that to me all the time.
He used to do Peachy all the time.
I didn't need showers.
Yeah.
Just like tell Rob I really like
Peachy,
narrative games.
I love doing stories. I'm like, no, but yeah, me and Chris played a game last night. But I started collecting a load of models last year. I love the setting.
Oh, yeah.
I love the lore. I've picked up every gang book maybe in the past 2 years and read them cover to cover. I've done streams where we've kind of like read it on stream, the narrative and stuff. And I would happily only play probably squats versus Ash Waste Nomads for like ever.
Yeah.
Like do you know what I mean? I could be like, you build an Ash Waste Nomads tribe that's like a million dudes and vehicles, and I'll build one, and we'll just have gang wars for the rest of our lives. Like that would be amazing. Like I'd play the hell out of that. So yeah, I love it. I think it's wicked. But you got to find. I think you have to find. It feels like you got to find a gaming group to kind of play more.
Yeah, I do think that there is like finding the right kind of opponents for sure, or at least. What would the word be? Not like molding them to your style, but like trying to find like a middle ground. I guess your mismatch was because I know you're quite good with rules and you know how to play like 40k or like Heresy or like Old World. I'd struggle to get a good mismatch there, but I think Necromunda would probably be more suited.
We had a great team. Like me and Chris played last night.
Never picked up a rule book.
It never picked up a rule book. We used Necro Raw. We remembered the stuff that we knew.
Yeah.
And I think Chris played more recently than I had. Also, Chris made it so fun. So I'm going to include some pictures.
Yes.
But he's done this amazing, and I'd love you to tell us more about it, but he did this amazing pink kind of city board, but also just really fun stuff. Like he was like, which is the thing I missed from that first game, right?
Yeah.
Where he's like, right, there's like 10 red barrels. Every computer game has red barrels.
Blow up, right?
Right, yeah, they blow up, right?
Nice.
And he's like randomly placed them places, and I was like, we did that, and then he'd made little treasure chests or like big cargo crates, and they've got like little bits of paper in, and dot them around. You open one up, and I opened up, and I got a respirator. I was like, yay! And he opened one up, and it exploded, and I was like, that's amazing. And then like,
see, that's how it should be played.
Yeah, like, and I mean, in that situation, I literally had a game designer also on tap, right, who would also modeled an incredible set of terrain. So, like, I don't think that's everyone's average experience.
Yeah.
But, like, that version of Necromunda that I was playing last night was wicked. And I said to you, I felt a little uncomfortable that I didn't know my rules very well, mainly because I would not want to be doing something I'm not allowed to do. And also knowing rules well, maybe in Necromunda, gives you the opportunity to do more cool stuff. Like if I know if shooting at you means that you're like going to do a scare check and fall down like off a building. Like if I don't know that, I can't do it. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be cooler to know the rules.
Yeah, I think that comes in time. I mean, I've done this many times where I've played games with friends and stuff, and like I taught like my mate Nigel how to play Warcry, and I went through the bear stuff to start off with. I didn't expect him to know anything because he's not played it before, but that's on me to help him out with those bits of information as well. So we were playing like Warcry and stuff, and Warcry has an element of that. If you get beaten near a ledge, there's a chance you'll fall off. And I was like, oh, just let you know, Nigel, there's a bit of we got models on this bridge here. If you wanted to charge and you potentially win that fight there's a chance you could knock me off and cause more damage. If you don't kill me, I still might fall. He was like, oh, I might activate that person first then, and because if I activate that person and that works, I can then get this other person to squeeze around and then do the same thing to the other guy. I was like, yeah, let's go for it. So part of me like teaching those rules sometimes is to remind them, but I sometimes forget stuff as well. But that's part of the journey as well, because like I won't say this because I've never been in an actual firefight, but imagine you're in a firefight, right? And you're like firing your guns, and you're like, and then you finish the firefight and you survived, and you get back, you're like, damn it, I should have shot that red barrel. You know, you don't think about some stuff at the time, and that's quite normal. I think that's fine. Because that then makes that builds like a tactic in your brain for the next game. You're like, I now know if I do stuff near the ledge, that could cause problems. I'll try and remember that. But then you might forget something else that's just normal. I think it's about having fun at the end of the day.
I had a great time, thanks. There was like a bit at the end where my guys were too high and the gas was coming up because it was like there was gas raising. And so my dwarfs, my squad, were like, oh, we're going to jump this gap. The first one, he was a Juve. Yeah, he flopped it. And then the ganger was like, don't worry, lad, I'll show you. And they also flopped it. So they took some crushing murder rolls down, which was pretty funny. And then Chris is super fun to play play with. So it was a really good time, for sure. But like, do you know what I mean? Just I was like, what? He's like, what gun have you got? I was like, maybe this. Like, and I'm on Necro Raw looking at what it does, and I'm like, I think this is how the gun works. Like, and you don't want to be unfair, right?
Yeah.
Like that would be.
I do think that, like, with the new Necromunda, it has got a little bit more complexity to it than the original. So the original, you would have, like, every gang would have like stub pistols, las guns, auto guns, stubbers, bolters. They'd have like a slight different design, but not like alien enough to it not be noticeable on the figure. You'd be like, that's a stubber, that's a las gun, that's a plasma gun. You could easily identify all those guns on the old Orlocks, on the old. Whereas now, sometimes you're like, what is that? But what I do like about the big house books is they often show you all the illustrations at the back and tell you which guns are which.
They do.
Which I think is super important.
They do.
Because that's one of the things I always used to be a big bugbear, saying like that page there, like, you know, you've got the all the guns. And that's just like a section. There's more than that. Because I would look at like an Escher chem thrower at first and I was like, is that a stubber? When the kit first came, I was like, what is that? And you're looking through and like, what's a chem thrower?
You're not like a big... So talk to me about your like a hobbying journey with Necromunda, because I don't think you're a big advocate for WYSIWYG to that degree. You're like a chem... You wouldn't use the chem stubber model. Am I right in thinking?
So almost with most games, I would ignore the WYSIWYG thing and go looser. But with Necromunda, I don't want to interact with what I am and am not allowed to take in a gang list.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to read that book.
Yeah.
It hurts me to try and read that book.
The story bit's good, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that whoever... I'm going to go to bat for this because I read the Old World Arcane journals, the Heresy Arcane journals, the AOS books, and honestly, the front bit of the Necromunda book where they're like describing the gangs and kind of expanding, especially the new stuff where it's like the squats and the Ashwaste Nomads, and they've just done the Enforcers. It's a great read. Like I like it, at least. Like it is maybe a little texty, like, and they live here and they do this, but I like that. I think it's quite fun and it helps me with the world building because I'm not quite as imaginative as you two. So for me, I'm like, that just provides some, that bit. And then I get to the back and I'm like, Jesus, this is a disaster. But sorry.
Yeah, so like I've got in my Gene Stealer cults list, one thing that really pissed me off when I was trying to build a Gene Stealer cults list is the Gene Stealer cults don't get Gene Stealers.
It's wild.
And the Malstrain Gene Stealers don't get the cultists.
Yeah.
So like those are just the same gang.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that
just
I can't
mix them
just
together.
take things from those two gangs.
Because like, isn't it the 5th generation is the pure strain Gene Stealer?
Yeah, something like that.
So that's their child.
Like, yeah.
So why can't they have that in their gang?
They all live together.
Technically, it's because of the Mechanicum, but I mean, I've read the front of the book, so
You got us on that one. I've not actually, which book is this?
I agree with Chris.
Which book is this one? Is this quite a new one then?
Which one?
The Malstrain Gene Stealers is the Secundus.
I've not read that one then.
Yeah.
Because I've got the one with the Hell
Yak Tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, it's free online somewhere, Peachy.
Yak Tribe. Thank you. I was trying to remember the name of that.
The other asset that makes Necromunda playable.
Yes, the other one.
So good. And the fact that
I don't know if it's been updated recently. I think several of the modern gangs have not been on there, and I think there's a complaint inside of the community that it's not on there. But again, I don't play it or am as committed to it as much as others.
I still think it's a really good app.
Every time anyone feels like buying a Necromunda book, send the same amount of money to the people that make Yak Tribe.
Yeah, or a Necromunda or Necro Raw for sure. Yeah,
Whether you're allowed to send money to Russia, but
no. Okay, well maybe that guy.
Send positive thoughts.
Maybe it's just based. Maybe it's just based in Russia. The app,
Maybe.
Because I think because there's another one for 40k in AOS called Wahapedia. And that might also be run by Russian, but like it might be. Anyway, I just thought I'd say. Anyway.
Yeah, so my Gene Stealer cults gang has a Gene Stealer ogre, a cult ogre who's just carrying 2 heavy flamers.
Nice.
That's his job. That is not allowed in the rule book.
It is when you're having fun though.
But it is when you're having fun. Like he looks great. He's got he's like lumbering around with these 2, like, and also he just incinerates anything he touches. But like my Gene Stealer cults gang is horrible. I've not made a single list of it that's ever won a game.
Yeah.
They're completely incompetent. But the Gene Stealer is an absolute charnel house. And then like sometimes this ogre lumbers close enough to something to blow it up. But like I'm not there to win. So like I do actually play WYSIWYG, but because I use the WYSIWYG, I make the model to look cool, and then I'm like, oh, what's it got? Well, it's holding this.
You see,
you're like, I really want him to have this gun and this blade, and therefore, even if I can't have it, that's what I'm taking.
Yeah.
See, my theory in Necromunda, and this is all personal opinion. I'm not saying that anyone should do this, but my theory in Necromunda, when you're playing it, is you should play as the gang. You should play as the mentality of the gang and not try and win.
Army Hammond. He was just playing as the flesh. What are they called? No, the corpse starch people.
He was probably playing
That's
as
what
those
he.
guys.
Yeah, he's playing Necromunda at home, and
I don't mean go full method.
he's got full method.
But like when I'm playing like Esches, I know that they have toxin blades. They like to get up and close, and they're quite vicious, and they like to stab people personally in the ribs and watch the light leave their eyes. That's where Esches really feel good. They don't like. They have pistols and they have guns and they do like to shoot, but they like to be up close and personal. So I, every given opportunity, will try and get my Esches into combat, which isn't necessarily the most tactical, wise decision that you can make in a firefight, but it channels what the Esches are.
Yeah.
And when I was doing the Van Sars, I was still getting to grips with them, but I started to realise that they're very weak and flimsy, but they have the tech. So I'll probably make use of cover and shoot, but I still really struggle to hit things.
Okay.
Because they weren't very good at firing. At least I wasn't very good at firing. They do better with like the jamming inside of stuff, but like I try and channel the gang and how the gang, from reading the book, how the gang would operate.
Yeah.
And then I might have the hired scum in there. So I love like throwing in the odd hired scum or whatever. And they're paid to do a job, but they're really naff. And I know they're not going to do very well. And I know that if my gang leader was there, they'd be like, oh, there's some red barrels over there and some guys. Hey, hired scum guy, just go over that direction and keep them occupied. Yeah, you keep that occupied because after this battle, we ain't paying you. And I'd shoot the red barrel and then the hired scum guy dies because he's drawn the fire because that's what he was paid to do.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, Esches do not like men. Right, except Orlocks, which I discovered. I did not realise this. They have a good relationship with Orlocks.
Oh, the scabs.
No.
The Orlocks are scabs, aren't they?
Scabs.
As in, they crossed the picket line. Like originally, the backstory was that Orlocks overthrew the masters, like in Revolution, then what happened was the masters of the mining group were like, "Hey, you guys, I know that you've just overthrown everything, but what if we put you in charge, right, of looking after everybody, and you enforce everything?"
Yeah, because they deal with all the deliveries and all like transportation stuff.
Yeah,
like
so
that,
then those few Orlock houses or few Orlock families then suppressed or oppressed the other Orlock, so they're picket line breakers.
Yeah. So I was reading that the Esches tend to get on more with the Orlocks because you have like your ones you don't get on with, which is the Goliaths, even though the Esches supply the Goliaths with...
The Esches and Goliaths would go well together. Do you know what I mean? Just like the ladies with all the poison and like their hair and then just the ripped naked dudes. I don't know how they don't get on with each other.
I think it's all to do with like the initial background, wasn't it? Like the what they call the Ashaki? The Ashaki, the house that the Esches were originally known as the Ashaki. That was the house.
Okay.
And then that's where the Esches came from. There was like a big war between the Goliaths and them. And that's why this
what were
hatred
they
comes from.
rowing over? Hair crimpers?
Maybe just like maybe like dye, maybe green dye,
maybe
for the hair because I don't know. I'll paint all mine with green hair of the Goliaths. But I had a point. I forgot what it was. Yes, Orlocks. And yeah, I was reading because like the Esches respect the Orlocks because they put a lot of like females in charge because the Orlocks are like it's about meritocracy. It doesn't matter if you got innies or outies. It's like you are. If you're good, you're in charge. Yeah. And the Esches are like, we respect that. And they tend to have more like marriages going off with that. But on the flip side, which I find really funny, is the Esches still supply the Goliaths with their gene stims because that's how they survive. It's like, you could just not supply them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's money.
But the money.
Yeah, the money.
The money. Yeah.
I was just like, but you hate them. Just don't supply them.
So Chris, you've got like some amazing like terrain. Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
So I, at my sister's house, I have my actual wargaming table.
Yes.
Which is a 5 foot by 4 foot super dense urban cyberpunk city.
Nice.
That like, again, we play a game no one else can play. It's called Halcyon 99. It's set in the...
I have been invited to play that. I'm going to play one day and then I could be like, I also have played it once.
Yeah, there's like 10 people in Nottingham that get to play. Yeah. We get together on a Thursday. It's great.
Nice.
But that's like a city that I've been building, but it can't be transported. It's all on like 1 foot by 1 foot cubes.
Okay,
so you can dark city it around each time you play. But so I needed something. I didn't need something, but I wanted something to be able to play here in the office. So I just sort of the room sort of at the far end that's now Louise's studio was full of trash from the previous landlord, and I turned a lot of that trash into terrain.
Nice.
So
Should have made a video of that. Trash into
terrain.
I don't see my life through the lens of content creation.
I don't, and I don't know how I still do it.
So I just sort of made my jungle terrain table, which is the one that's out there at the moment, was a sort of a collection of sort of trash and aquarium plants that I put together. And then I felt like I'd played in the jungle. Our entire campaign was in this kind of like jungle junkyard because I just have piles of trash. So a lot of it is junkyards. I piled up the trash. So then I was like, well, I need to build a new, different terrain. And I'm really uninspired by the kind of, a lot of Necromunda terrain is very brown and dark with hazard stripes, but the hazard stripes are the only color punctuating what is the brownest fucking table. You allowed to swear on your podcast?
Yeah.
No, we do.
Yeah.
It's a bit late.
Well, I mean, I can cut it out, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
So,
the brownest like terrain tables, and I am just like really uninspired by that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a desert table.
Yeah.
Maybe I could make it the brightest table.
Ooh.
I think it's also UV reactive.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because the pink that I used is like
fluoro paint,
fluoro powder pigment stuff. So I've never looked at it under a UV light, but I do feel like it would probably look insane. So that is sort of like my office, like just work-a-day terrain rather than like my ongoing.
Have you played the? I can't remember the publishers now or creators. They did the Necromunda computer game video game with Workshop.
I have played that.
Yeah, because they did More Time first than they did Necromunda.
Right.
They never finished it because they never did the Dalax. They've done all the other gangs, but they never did the Dalax. They just stopped, which is really annoying. I still play it a lot because I really like it. But that has like areas which are the brown, sort of like industrial areas that are really rusty, almost like wet rust drippiness. It's just horrible. It doesn't look like somewhere you want to like lie down and die.
Yeah.
It's like I might even get something in the afterlife from this.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going to get infected into my next life. But there are areas that are like super vibrant and bright and like got like luminescent like mushrooms and fungi and stuff like that, mold and stuff. Like there's like open areas that are like just giant stacks of pipes. Like big sort of like tube pipes and stuff like that, and you can't always get to it. Some of them are actually on those areas, but like others are just like see these big vistas. But one of my favorite ones is like there's this big open area. It's like an industrial like landing dock area, and it opens up and it's just like a big cavernous space. But there's just a giant spider. It's just like been there for so it's like dead.
Yeah,
and it's just like loads of webs around. There's probably like smaller spiders, and I was hoping that they'd end up doing like. Maybe like wandering monsters like they do with the More Time one, because you get like the odd demon turn up or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have like some random spiders that turn up in the game and stuff. But I think Necromunda has often been shown as like it, and I've made that mistake when I've made my terrain. It's like it's a rusty industrial area. This might have been like a factory line. This might have been like an old stairwell up to like a water evaporator or whatever. So it's a bit moisty and a bit rusty from that kind of stuff because it's just a giant hive city. But hive cities are like huge, right? And they'll have like big cavernous spaces. The architect stuff from the originals, I always like envisioned just these old dusty domes that are just covered in like sand dunes, but it's not sand, it's just dust and filth and ash. So it's almost like you look at like the Sahara Desert, and it's not as large as that, but like you've got like a cavernous space above it, like the inside of Moria, but it's like a huge space with like sand dunes, but they're not sand, it's like ash and stuff, with like weird or plants coming out of it and stuff. So I think there's so much you can do in Necromunda.
I'm actually more interested, I think, in ash wastes and maybe hive secundus than I am Necromunda itself. Like I like the Blade Runner vibe, like or like post-diesel punk Blade Runner vibe. I think it's wicked, like Judge Dredd, and like that's cool, and I would play that forever. That's great. But I do like the introduction of the stuff outside as well.
I think that's been a really good move because of like the old hammer, what would you call it? Old Cremunda.
Old Cremunda.
I just thought the planet had just one hive on it.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it was full of houses, and you had noble houses, and they were a bit richer than the other
ones. I mean, that's enough of a story.
Yeah, it's great.
For sure.
And that's what got me into it as a kid. It was like, what, a paragraph about the Esches, a paragraph about the Vansars. That's all you needed to play a game.
My next Necromunda table is it's Waterworld, the movie Waterworld.
Nice.
So it's tropical blue skies, little desert islands, little pirate, like maybe a pirate skull
island,
and like all these ramshackle boats made from like oil tankers and stuff, and like pirate ships, and like So I have almost no love for the setting, but no respect for it.
Okay.
Like I'm just tearing it down and putting something else there. Like it doesn't mean you talk about like that. You're like Hive Secundus excites me, and I'm like, oh yeah, they did do a thing with a second hive. Like,
yeah, I like it. I've said this before. I think like me and Chris talked about like games and game design and game stuff a lot, and I've said a lot on this show as well. Like I think when you have your creativity, Peach, and you can like trample a face at that, but you have loads of creativity, as does Chris, like which are both so clear. But like I've tried to explain this before. People like me, and there's lots of people like me who are super keen and excited, but they want to purchase or they want to like take part in creativity. I don't want to write a book. I'd like to read a book. I don't want to make a movie. I'd like to watch a movie. You know what I mean? And those are different. And I think when you are able to do those things, that's amazing. But those are all things that you can also, not that you have to, but like those things, if you wanted to, you can package and someone like me would purchase. Kind of this has been happening for me in the old world. So like last year, like pretty much you played tournament old world, right? But then last year I was like, well, what if we just put fucking giant river in the middle and made up some rules, right? And then everyone like had a good time. And then this year I'm going to do one that's like, what happens if we're fighting? Because it's basically, if you've played Warhammer Fantasy Battle in the past 30 years, you've played in Germany on a green board, right? Like with 2 townhouses, a couple of hills and a couple of forests. That's basically all you've ever fucking played. You've not played in Sylvania. You've not played in Kemri. You've not played anywhere. So I'm going to make some like mission packs because I know the game well enough that I can make. I'll be like, oh, we're all going to be playing in Kemri, and there's going to be some rules for sand and some stuff like that, and that's cool. And I'm really looking forward to that. But when you turn around to Necromunda or other game systems, I'm like, oh, please help. Or also, please write me a story. Like with the Necromunda story, at least, I really like it. I think it's really cool. I think the authors have got something really exciting to say, because I do think that, I really do. And I do like that they have explored, they've gone, right, okay, cool, we're doing Mad Max. And it is reductive, right? But we're doing Mad Max. But actually, in that story, they're telling the story of, like, indigenous peoples and then, like, mining guilds. They're doing Avatar, basically, as a story. And that's fun. And then Hive Secundus, they're like, what if Necromunda, but horror? Because, like, Necromunda's kind of cyberpunk grimdark, because that would put them together, maybe that would be right. But this is like, what if it's, like, body horror, and like you could literally do a horror setting, and that's cool as well, because that's not something I would come up with, or if I was to come up with it would take me a very long time. But like, I can understand also why you're like, I love the framework, I'm just going to do something else with it. That makes sense.
I think that's the great thing there. You've just hit the nail on the head. It's like, there's something for you, there's something for you, there's something for everybody. I mean, like you just saying, like you're doing like a water world sort of thing with like oceans and like little islands. I mean, I'm now thinking about that going, I'm not going to do it as an ocean, I'm going to do it as like toxic fluid. So if you're off on these boats and you're doing a little fight, if you get knocked off, your character dies. They ain't coming back. So there's almost like an extra. And
because there's a place called the Sumpsea, right?
And the Sump, that's pretty much just acid.
It's just, which is, I'm like, how do the boats go by? But like, sure.
I've seen someone on, I forget what it is. I don't think it's Street Design. They do really cool Necromunda sort of paint jobs. A lot of it's like black and white or monochromatic with like some punchy colours in it. But someone was doing loads of boats, and I can't remember who it was, but it just looked really cool. And it just ended up doing like a sump map with all these little trawler, sort of like little tub boats and stuff like that. And it was the same kind of thing, like, when you're in your gunfight, if you get knocked off, that's it, that character's gone. You have to make a new one now. It's like, oh no, that's little lassie. She's been with me from the off. She's just a melted little puddle now, is what she is. But I think like the horror stuff, like Secundus is good for that, because it is like no one goes there. And it's probably full of like...
Well, no, loads of people go there. Like, they go, like, because there's so much treasure there. So it's
Sorry, I mean, like, you're not supposed to go there. People aren't, because there's all these defensive walls around it. It's like, it's off limits. But it's just because that's where the Genestealer Uprising was, wasn't it? There was
some Genestealer cults, and Admech Tech Magos was like, I can figure this shit out. I got it. Turns out he didn't get it, right? And then he also became part of like the gene thing. So then you've got kind of this Admech Genestealer like cross mix, which is also quite cool. So you've got like robot Genestealers, and you've got like Genestealer infected like Magi and stuff. So that there's a kind of quite a fun cross pollination there. It's meant to be like there's a billion different horrors, and they dropped a bomb on it, so like it added like weird time dilation, and it's all horror. It's a horror. There's like pocket dimension horror. Like that's the idea, and it's very, very different to like and it does say like in some places there's still people trying to survive. So maybe you find like a little town, but maybe it's like Silent Hill. Maybe it's not like Silent Hill. Maybe it's like I've been watching a show called From, where it's like you just get trapped in this town, but then there's like monsters, and they eat you, and you can't get out of the town.
Oh wow!
Watched it when I was sick, but like it's kind of interesting, and it's a nice different setting to the. And I'm sure eventually they're going to go into space because there's a little space station above.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Necromunda. So I assume that's kind of a thing that happens at some point because they're at the end of the narrative cycle. Because they did a whole cycle called the Aranthine Succession.
Yeah.
And now they're at the end of it, and there's this like weird golden dude who seems to be in charge. And
Is he a Custodes, do you reckon?
No, he's like a super old dude. He looks like Ozymandias, King of Kings, but like a Necromunda version.
Yeah.
So that's quite fun.
They've done a mini for that guy.
Yeah, done a mini for that guy.
I got that for Christmas.
Oh, cool.
But I was told I'm not allowed to assemble it in the way that it is in the box. So I'm still thinking of like how to.
Oh, how come? You just want to do something different?
Because I was the friend that gave it to me, I had explained to them that like any like old secondhand models that I get, or like anything that I have had in my bits box for years, I just hack up into what is, a better, more fun model. But if it's something I've spent money on, for some reason I'm like resistant to doing that. So I don't tend to convert things that I've bought new, especially like there's something about the Games Workshop pricing that I buy it and it's just like, oh geez.
I best put together properly.
Yeah, let's put that together properly. Even though I would have more fun and end up with a better model if I just took the clippers to it. So I think it was part of that was like, you're not allowed to trap yourself in this mental prison of valuing the model in then making something less fun than if you didn't value the model and then you'd make something more fun.
I see. Yeah.
Is there a favorite? Is there a favorite gang that you have built and like? What's your favorite gang that you've like? Because you've built and kit bashed a bunch. Also, you Peach. What's your favorite? Just while you're taking a moment to think, I'll just tell you that like I'm just that latte, like fucking white bitch. That's me, right? I'm just out there, like, okay, cool. It's the Games Workshop model. Yeah. Oh, he's got the gun. Oh, I've put the gun. Do I need another box to get a second gun? I'll do that. Right. Do you know what I mean? They've got me by the short and curlies. I'm just building them properly. He's got that. No, that's the wrong knife. That's a combat knife. He needs a different knife. So that's me. That's how I'm building my gangs. And my favorite I put together was my squats.
Yes. Yeah.
I think they're a little limited in like weapon options.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. I've built.
You thought about mixing Votanning with them?
I have actually. So my Juggz, my Juggz, they're French. My Juggz are the kill team because they're all wearing like big, long.
Yeah.
I've got them as like brown jackets and stuff, so that's quite fun. So I quite like that. Yeah, I did those, and I just did the Ironhead Prospectors, and they're super fun, and I had a great time.
They're really enjoyable to paint.
Yeah, but I've built all of the. I think I've built most of the gangs. I haven't built Van Saar because I'm still got PTSD.
Yeah.
So I built most of the gangs. And I've
just build them bad and just have them there so you can kill them.
That's what I might do. I might build a bunch and just be like, well, listen, we all get to team up and kill those guys.
Yeah.
I'll probably lose.
Yeah.
Probably lose.
Really naff. So Escher was the first of the new lot I built from the plastic kit because I wanted to. I was a bit resistant against it as well because I was like, they're not the old ones. I like the old ones. But actually, once I started building them, I really enjoyed building them. But I think I built like 2 and a bit gangs now of like different. So I've got one gang which is like classic yellow, sort of like armor and bras and like the black leather and then the big rainbow hairstyles and stuff. Then I moved on to a bunch that had like red armor and like pink hair and orange hair. So it was all. I went down weird routes of like this. I need to name them. That's something that's red. So like there's carmine. There's like ruby. There's like.
That's fun. They're all red with different red names.
The other ones, it was like Jules because the commander was called Jewel, and it was Jules. So it was like ruby, sapphire, emerald, and then like me. Orlocks were a biker gang, so I named them after bikes. So there was Kawa and Zaki. There was Honda.
That's funny.
So it was there was a dog called Triumph. Like stupid things like that. So my naming convention's awful, but I did do a gang for a battle report that I've filmed. I've never edited it, and I still need to edit it. which was using the what's the Venators rules. So the Venators is like basically a bounty hunter warband, and you use whatever there's like a selection of stat lines. You go, I'm gonna
They have official release now, rules wise.
Do they? Oh, fantastic! I'll have to check that out because I didn't realise that. But I've used this old set of Venator rules, and I was just like, I'm just going to get a guy who's hand-picked different members from different gangs to be in his team. So it's like a mix of like, there's a Goliath, there's an Escher, there's an Orlok, there's a Vansar, there's a couple of high scum, there's a probably maybe a disgruntled or ex-enforcer. There's no corpse grinders in there yet because maybe they don't want the guy who likes to eat people in the team yet.
Yes. But he's a good guy to have in your team.
He's a good guy to have in
Army
your team.
Hammer.
But he was fun. That I think that gang was quite fun to put together because it's a mishmash of just... and it just gave me a chance to paint something a little bit different. So I've done like this Escher gang. I've done that. I'm going to do a blue one. Or I'm going to do a Van Sart's a different colour. I'm going to do this Dalak a different colour or whatever. So that was quite good fun to do. Oh, yeah, I know what I used. I used the... Lucian Starstrider's commander who's got like the shotgun and the pistol. He's in like the big suit, and he just looked really cool. So he was like a sort of an agent, maybe like an inquisitor who's got a job to do, and he has to go down and deal with the situation. He's like, hiring you, I'm hiring you, and they're like, I don't want to be hired. You hired or die.
Oh wow!
You don't get a choice.
Okay.
So that was the
coolest guy in my gang is always. I didn't have him last night because he's at home on the painting desk. Is Big Crumb.
Oh,
Everywhere I go, just ladling out soup. That's all I care about.
Ladling out soup.
But then every time I've ever played Necromunda, because I just literally spend maybe 5 minutes explaining to people how much I love Big Crumb at the start, he is maybe one of the most hated characters.
People just go out to kill him.
On Big Crumb?
Yeah, I remember. I was playing and Chris walked by and was like, I put a bounty on him. I'll give you something. And then
100 credits.
Yeah, 100 credits. And then everyone was like, and they just went for him. It's like it's the most bullied little fella.
Poor guy.
I didn't even have 100 credits.
He's just ladling his soup out.
He's just ladling his soup out all day, every day. And yeah, he's been killed by some ferocious things.
Oh my God. Poor Big B.
They just skipped the gang leader. They're like straight at Big B. I was like, oh no. Sorry, Chris, what's your
Favorite? I think it might be my Eschers. I've done an undead Escher gang.
Oh, cool.
Where I've carved the heads out so the hairstyles remain. And put the hairstyles on skulls. And they've all got like old band T-shirts on.
Yeah,
They've got like a Pink Floyd T-shirt, and they've all got a pistol and like a mutant arm, and like they're made out of a combination of the Escher's kit and the Sisters of Battle Chainswords and Underwear kit.
Yes, the Repentia.
So they're like, pretty. I think the ones
that's quite
I'm
a cool
most happy
idea.
With. They're really bright and colourful as well. They're just like punchy.
Brings a whole new sort of like meaning to Death Maidens, right?
Yeah, well, then I after that discovered that the Death Maidens were a thing, and was like, I should add it. And I've never got around to adding a Death Maiden to the.
So I still need to finish. I got so you've Rain, which is the Eldar lady,
cat lady.
Yeah, so I've painted up the cat, so that's now just going to be an Escher pet. But because she's like in this almost like wedding dress, I also treat it as like a funeral garment, but I painted it all in like blacks and purples, and then just done the veil. I used one of the Death Maiden heads on Yvraine instead, so I did a head swap. So she's got like this veil where I've tried to make it look a little bit like sheer fabric, but she just looks terrifying.
Yeah.
But she takes up a lot of space because Death Maidens are quite good. I like the kit of the Death Maidens, but I think they're quite underwhelming. I ended up using those kits just to make different poses for like my heavies because they're a little bit more chunky, so they're like getting like the heavy stubbers and stuff like that. Like the Wild Sisters are quite cool because they've got bows and they've got like little throwing daggers. But yeah, the head was fine. I just added extra stuff because Yvraine's got all that extra like feathers and stuff. So I used that headdress on a Death Maiden's head and then just added to it. But I just thought she looked a bit more imposing.
That's cool.
As a Death Maiden should.
Yeah, when I put mine together, I followed the instructions exactly. Exactly. I was like, okay, yeah, no. I always feel a little upset if I don't add the grenade pouch on the side or something. They're like, add the pouch. And I'm like, it's quite a lot, actually. That's
see, the early sets, though, did like make usable warbands or gangs. It was just like when I was like building up the Van Sar one, I was just like, I don't have enough credits to buy this gang now.
Yeah.
I can't afford half of these weapons. Why have you done that for me? But I guess from a packaging point of view, you want to show every weapon option possible.
Also, it's just fun to build. Like, they're generally fun to build. SCS stuff could be like a lot of parts sometimes, but I find them quite fun to build.
So my biggest bugbear with the builds really is it's been different designers for a lot of them, and that's fine. You're going to get different designers. I just wish they had the same head and arm fittings. Goliaths less so because they're bigger and chunkier peeps, right? But their heads are probably going to be the same kind of scale. I just wish all the you could like get different, move the arms around. I want that weapon, but I want that weapon on that guy. Because I was doing like something on live the other night and someone was like, Peach, I've got some Delax. I'm really struggling to find like, I like the arms and the weapons they got, but I just want to do something different. What arms work with them? I was like, well, I know Van Sars won't. I know Orlocks won't. Eschers maybe. Goliaths definitely not. So the Eschers were the closest to like the slimness of the Delax. That was me just being me because I've now collected lots of different miniature companies that have that interchangeability written into their
it's not a focus of
no, and that's fine. I built all those gangs as they were meant to be built, and I enjoyed playing with them. But now I'm like looking in reflection, I'm like, it would have been nice to at least have some interchangeability between like,
especially in a game that's like.
That's his point.
Yeah. Like we played a lot of Burrows and Badgers recently. I don't know if you played Burrows and Badgers.
No, I've been meaning to. Need to get on
really
it.
Good game, good fun. Like one of the things that I find really interesting is that it is like more time in the sense that you can equip anyone with anything.
Yeah.
But the range of models are these like solid metal models with like, they're just one piece metal models, the hardest kind of model to convert.
Yeah.
In a game where you can kind of, be like, oh, it's a mouse and it has any armor and any weapon.
Yeah.
But like you can never play that game WYSIWYG.
Yeah.
And there aren't many compatible ranges that sort of go with it where you can.
I kind of feel like North Star need to like start doing some plastics for
plastic animals.
Yeah, plastic animals. Just even if it's like one box set, you got some badges, you got some mice.
Yeah,
it would be very cool
because you could use that for other stuff as well.
Yeah,
because I could use those for like 5 parsecs because there's loads of races in 5 parsecs, 5 leagues on the Borderlands. Stargrave, Stargrave's really Stargrave, Frostgrave because I'm in fantasy. Frostgrave, even same with Stargrave, is like you buy a profession, you decide what race it's going to be and what sex it's going to be. So it's like, I want a knight. Okay, what kind of knight?
Female donkey.
I want a barbarian. I want an elf barbarian. I want a female elf barbarian. So what does that look like? I don't know, but I'm going to have fun making it.
It's an Escher.
It's an Escher. With pointy ears.
Just thinking about time. Do either of you have plans to do more Necromunda for the year? Like, Chris, you said you're going to be working on the island.
Yeah, Boat Cromunda.
Make
boats. Like rusted out patrol boats and oil rigs and stuff and little treasure islands to get it tropical and piratey, and a train because you got the long table out the front. So I want to have a train that runs from one end of the table to the other, and then like 6 people playing a game where they're all like riding motorbikes along the side of the train, trying to jump onto the train.
And watch that episode.
If they know motorbike rules. If they know the motorbike rules.
If they don't know the motorbike rules, they're stalled.
They're walking. They're walking.
That's something you mentioned, wasn't it? I don't know if that was on the previous record that we didn't record, was like if they know how to use the car rules or vehicle rules in Necromunda, they can use the vehicle. And I think that's such a cool thing because like if we're in a group, can you drive?
Yeah, I can.
I
haven't driven in maybe a decade.
I cannot.
So if you get in a car, you're screwed, right?
Yeah.
So me and you will be all right. We can use a car.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
That's fine. Fine. I feel like I can drive a terrible truck badly. That's what I need in Necromunda. I'm like, I got that. That's good. Yeah. And Peach, what are you going to be doing?
So I'm gonna touch on some Necromunda stuff I think this year. So like, one of the things I do, I get super invested and focused on a project. So when I was doing the 5 Leagues on the Borderlands stuff, I kind of went full on and ended up having like collections for all sorts of different game systems just because I was like building more stuff that would be used or potentially be used, and half of it hasn't been used yet. So I know with like the Star Wars thing I'm doing, that's going to be the same, but if I cover something Necromunda, I've still got the battle report to edit, and I think I should do something about the warbands or the gangs I've done. Because I've got quite a lot painted. I've never really done anything with them since lockdown. So I think that'll be quite good fun to do an episode about Necromunda. And I know if I do that, then I'll get a little bit more invested in it because I'm like, oh, I quite like this.
Yeah.
And then start doing more stuff because that's just the way I am.
It is somewhere you can get lost in.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. It's
sure.
It's again, we touched on this. It's like, it's one of those games that people talk about a lot, but you don't always see maybe that they do stuff with. That's probably an unfair. I mean, there's like SumpCom that goes off in Derby, Belper every year.
Yep.
Not sure if it's this year or not. But there's a few places out there that do it. But I still think it's one of those really fun games where you can get a lot of granularity and focus on just a handful of stuff. Like war games are great because it's like the war, it's the big battle. Whereas the gang warfare games are cool because it's about that individual. And I do love that, and I need to do more stuff like that because that's where my channel is at the moment. It's skirmish-based stuff. So
Yeah, that'd be very interesting.
paint a handful of figures and just give them life, and then getting sad when they die.
Give them a name, watch them die.
Watch 'em die.
Surely, are the Patreons allowed to like name a character and then they could die?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I'm going to look at doing is maybe, and I was talking to you about this, like doing another tier on my Patreon, which is if you want to have a character feature in my battle reports, or
You can have it as a one-off on Patreon. You can have it as a one-off payment.
yeah, I'll look at how that works, because that's the thing. It's like you buy a post, don't you, or buy a thing.
Yeah.
So the idea is like, you tell me what you want, I will make that figure, and then I'll feature it in the next playthrough or battle report I do. So if
That's cool, though, in my opinion.
Yeah. So it'll be like, say you're like, Peach, I want me.
Yeah.
But I want me with like a rippling torso, muscles.
Right.
But in a wig.
So just normal you.
But normal you. But like in a monk's habit.
What if I want to watch you torture my enemies?
That's possible.
I can pay to name the like goblins or whatever in your game.
Okay,
and then
yeah.
you just skewer
Torture
them.
them. Yeah, that's
I
possible.
can work through my
possibility.
issues that way.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is crazy
cruel.
to say
It's
out
cruel.
loud. That's crazy.
I'm just gonna.
Crazy thing. That's crazy.
yeah,
I think
that's
just before the recording, when the recording cut out, one of the things I said was it'd be remiss of me not to mention Wellywood Wargaming as like the YouTube content creator. I think about like Necromunda on the internet, and we all talked about the fact that we all kind of follow them and love their stuff, which is great. So kia ora to you. But yeah, really great stuff. Just a great creator and does really professional stuff, which is super fun. Yeah, I don't really have any plans myself for Necromunda this year. Like maybe I'll get to play. I've got lots on this year. We got the bat reps, and I did say that like. In the recording before, I'd love to find a way to be able to get people to go to an event and play Necromunda. But recognizing there are loads of great events where people go and they're these big showy and dancey things. But I'm more
Should we do one here? Like run one as a trio?
and figure out, we could try for sure. Like, I think that would be interesting. But again, my remit is really like, two people turn up, they don't know each other, they are able to play a game.
That's your strength, and you do that, and we run around and we like act as like kind of like not games masters, but like master of ceremonies and do random shit on certain tables.
I think the secret is you get people to show up thinking they're playing a simple, normal just game of Necromunda, but by the end of the weekend, they've collectively told a story that's spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's done some weird shit with like God knows what. And,
Yeah, I think it's an interesting idea for sure. I'd be happy to sit down and have a chat about it. But like, it's outside my comfort zone where I've put the pieces together one by one as the instructions dictate. Yeah, and the instructions also dictate we're at the end of the video. So
Sweet.
I hope you've all enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
I don't know what you want to say. Hi. Sorry, it threw me. Yes, thank you. As always, big love to the patrons. Love you all. And
That's what we're going to do now. Talk on Patreon.
Yeah, we're going to just allude to this before we go off the YouTube. So we alluded to RPGs and skirmish games and like having RPG elements. You having like strong feelings that, and I have strong feelings towards it. So if you want to know a little bit more about like the language barriers of like gaming, like certain people using certain terminologies that probably aren't fitting all right, but like for me, I think helps explain.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a bit of a disagreement on the Patreon, so it'll be fun.
And I'm going to mediate. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.